What's up, Fairwares? Nice to see you. What's that, Snorch? What's that, Geo? Guys are voting? I mean, well, we're not voting tonight yet. We're trying to figure out what we play next to the next main game. For anybody that wants to. It's just gonna be open submission. I should put that in the title too. Open submission. Let me know what games you want to see. We'll watch videos, trailers for games, and like maybe even play a couple if we can't find anything for the game. And then we'll do the actual voting through the week. We're gonna figure out what the next game is we're gonna play. We just beat Breath of Fire 3. There's a big question on the table, which is, do we play some obscure nonsense, or do we play something like to bring people in? I don't know what to do. That's why we're gonna open it up to... I don't know what to do. Both kind of work, right? Playing something kind of obscure lets people that might... I mean, if anybody's looking for it, they'll find us. So that playing those games isn't useless, right? Like, there's a number of games on YouTube. You search for the game, you'll find us. Like Tengai Machio 1 or something, right? If you're searching YouTube for that, you'll find our stream. What's surprising is not that many people look for those old games, though. I felt like some people would sometimes, but I feel like it's pretty rare that anybody finds us for any of that stuff. So I don't know. What's with the super space Yoko? That's End of Time Yoko? That's End of Time Yoko, Gio? End of Time Yoko? What's End of Time Yoko? I'm glad you noticed. Yeah, it's end of time yoga. End of time yoga. The command of the title doesn't seem to be working. Is it bond? What band? That's not a command, dummy. Yeah, that's just an S I typed after the thing. This guy. Okay, take rid of that. Voting soon. Open submissions! Exclamation point instead. How about that? There's no command. That was just the S I accidentally hit on the keyboard. It's gone now. Alright? It's gone. It'll be like that. Anyway, I don't know how much likes really pushes us in the algorithm, but feel free to like if you would like to. Why don't I know? Because when we were being suppressed from the view botting, it definitely didn't help then. But now I wonder if, like, maybe that's because of the suppression though. Maybe liking really does help. So should we still go back to pushing people to like again? And now that we're not view botted anymore? Because I stopped doing it because we were view botted, so it was useless. Like, the likes weren't they weren't doing anything. But maybe they do something. I don't know, we'd have to test, I suppose. We'd have to test, I guess. So if you want to click like, feel free, and I'll look at the numbers later. But I'm unsure if they do anything still. Because again, when I looked at the data for like the past like month, which was mostly botted, likes didn't correlate all that much, but what did correlate was number of viewers to new viewers. So it still pushes you a little bit as long as people tune in. Even if you're suppressed all the way from the view bots, it still pushes you a little bit if you got actual viewers they can tell. So watching is the most important thing. Turning it off for a second is the most important thing. Tabbing on YouTube is probably actually a good idea. I know on Kick everybody's like, don't do the tabbing, that's fucked up. It's actually a good idea. It actually helps you. Kick, the reason Kick is like that is because it's all artificial and stupid. So people end up turning on things that are like, you know, artifacts of the low population like that. On YouTube, there's no problem like that. Like, as we grow, we'll get seen by more people, and then it'll get bigger, and then nobody will notice the original tabbing, right? Like, it will be such an insignificant number eventually that the problem naturally cures itself. The command, yeah, Cookie Clicker would be a great game to play. Dumb. You guys hear this guy? You guys want to watch Cookie Clicker? Come on. We want to do entertaining things, right? What are we gonna do? I don't know. I'm open to anything. I'm gonna submit some ideas myself. What we're gonna do is, if there's no submissions, nobody's like, hey, I want to see this, I want to play this game. I want you to play this game. I'm going to go over the ones that I know would be an option. We've been considering Mother 1, right? I've been considering like Growlancer. We have Manji Maru isn't on the table, I suppose, right? What else is on the table? Shin Megami Tensei, probably. The Shin one. We played the last one. We played regular Mega 10. We played Kyu-Yaku. Not too long ago. That wouldn't be too weird to play the second one. Breath of Fire 4 could be in the running, right? What else could be in the running? Did I say Growlancer 1? That could be in the running. I gotta beat Landgracer, but we're just playing that on the side. That's not like a main game. What is I guess we gotta think of what's popular too. Could go back to the Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest retrospective plan. We gotta play Dragon Quest V, the Final Fantasy V. We beat Final Fantasy IV and Dragon Quest IV back in the day. This Friday is going to be the triangulation point of all the universes and all the storylines and everything. If you want to see that also. That's this Friday. This Friday. Why is it that? Well, it's the end of the P-Kid. It's the end of the P-Kid. It's the end of the P-Kid Jinguji Saburo, which 2 times in the history of the stream has happened. It'll happen a 3rd time. It'll happen a 3rd time. P-Kid queued? It'll happen a 3rd time. Shouldn't the YouTube algorithm penalize you for tabbing? Probably not. Who cares? Don't be a baby. You stop being such a baby. What made you this way? What made you this way, Snorch, to be this baby? This much of a... Do you have a bib? Do you have a pacifier? Do you have a bib and a pacifier, bro? What are you talking about? And you're boring. You know you're really boring? Like, that's the worst part, is you're boring. Most of it's so boring. It's just so boring. You know, you look at every time I look at your comment, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fall asleep. Oh my god, talking about this is the most boring thing in the universe. And my brain turns off. It's rough, bro. Reading your messages is really rough. It's really rough. They're really boring. They're really boring. It's like I look at chat and I see like a piece of sandpaper, right? And I'm like, oh fuck. I gotta rub that against my eyeballs now and my brain. Fuck. That's your chat messages. That's how I feel about them. Would you play any of the... Yeah, I'd play that one. There's only... I think any. You say any like there's a bunch. Is there more than one? I just know the one. I'd play the one though. The one where you run around... I'd play that. That'd only be a couple days though, probably. You just like... I played it a little bit. You just go around the town and you talk to like the different people, and you keep grabbing items. You keep having to get the next item is what you're supposed to do, and then the next story thing triggers. I played it a little bit. You can run on the walls. It's cool. But why wouldn't you rather see like the end of the Switch one, the Coal Town one? That'd be cooler, I think. I would play that game though. Yeah, sure. Why not? There's 3. What are the other 2? Are the other 2 real games, like, or just mini games, or what? There are 3, he says. He is popular in China as well. He is called Labi Zhaozun. Great video. Laoji Zhaozun. What? How do you say that his name in Chinese? Labi Zhaozun. He's popular in China? Yeah, if you Google that, you get him. You get Xinjiang, yeah. If you Google Labi Zhaozun, you do get Xinjiang. That is him, yeah. Shin Labjiao Jin. Korean, and what? Poi Poi? Oroto Poi Poi? Interesting. So Shin isn't included in the Labia Zhaojin because one of the things says Shin Labia Zhaojin. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means, bro. We should start the stream though. I've noticed like Koji's right. People that start don't come in if it's just a visualize, they don't know what's going on. So we should start. Even though today's gonna be confusing for new people anyways, I feel like. No one's gonna... Whoa, what's this? No one's gonna be able to... Why is it so dark in here? No one's gonna be able to... this is a newer face. Use the older one. Is this the one? Why is Linda back there? Why is there a funky tube thing? Linda, can you get out of here? I'm trying to do a stream right now. Linda, can you get out of here? Why is this Linda row out there? Okay, where is the right one? Is it? Oh, it's up here more. It's this one. Found it. Found it. Found it. I found the thing. I found it. Figured it out. Isn't every day confusing? Is that what you're saying? Isn't every day confusing? I don't appreciate that comment. I take offense to that. I do my best to make it not confusing. The nature of the stream, I think, is confusing, though. No? But what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do about that? I feel like if you want to do anything, like, cool, it has to become confusing, because if it's easy to follow, then it can't be that deep either, right? If you give anything any depth at all, it makes it harder to understand. So what are you supposed to do? Not make things have any depth? That doesn't seem right. Transition to what? Daimao. That's the Great Demon King. I mean, if you get probably boiled, it's not confusing. Here's the thing. The frog thing I found out is not true, guys. So I know we all like the frog metaphor. I do myself too. But I don't think it's true. I remember looking it up not that long ago and finding out it wasn't true. Does anybody know? I think it's not true. I think the frog will still jump out. I think the frog still jumps out at a certain heat. I think that's made up. I think something like this is true. I remember looking it up and being like, what? The frog thing isn't true? But I've been using this metaphor forever. But then you're not new by then. That's true. That's true. But I mean, what else are you supposed to do, Gio? I try to make it... I know we can add like a ticker, right, that goes by from like Yoko or something, warning people about the stream. That's an idea I've had. I don't know how else you introduce people. The wiki, which I gotta finish. The wiki. What else could you do? I think we'll put the voting on the wiki too. Not the voting, but like what games are in the running. I could just put a thing on the wiki real quick for each game that I pick. So then people can go like, oh, what are the games? And then go on there. And I'll put that at the top of the wiki thing. I'll do that. I'll do that. Speaking of, guys, you gotta think of games. You got any ideas? The Crayon Shin-Chan SNES ones, I'll play them sometime. I don't really feel like a main game. Those are main game material. They would just, I mean, we could maybe play them as an intermission, though. I'll think about it. I'll think about playing one of them as like an intermission, a thing to do until the next game. But they're not really main game material, though. I don't think they are intermission game material, though. I like frog legs. They taste like fancy chicken wings. Man, they do taste like chicken wings, kinda. I'd say they taste like fishy chicken wings, though. Like a little bit fishy. But I'd say that... I don't know if I'd say fancy, though, like they're better. I don't know if they are better. They're fine, though. Yeah. I've had a couple times at the Asia buffet. Yeah, they're fine. The frog legs are fine. They taste good. They're not. I don't know if I say fancy though. I think I'd rather have chicken wings. Like, well, a good chicken wing. I think I'd rather just have chicken wings. If they're really like from a really good place, that does really good seasoning or something. And cooks them without ruining anything. Chicken is not the hardest thing to cook, but lots of places do ruin it, don't they? Like, they make it I mean, a little tiny bit of this undercooked or a little bit of whatever, and it's like, ugh, gross. But it's not that hard to not mess it up. I don't know. Anyway, chicken's good. Frog legs, yeah, they're okay. Fancy though. Okay. I'm gonna go out of my way for them. Don't go time comp on it. Remind me to log in with your account for the wiki. Well, it's the only account that exists, okay? The wikis aren't set up for multi-user management or whatever. When you host them that way. So it's fine. Just use the account. It's the account. It's the mod account. You don't have to think it was my account. It's the mod account. Because there's not alternative accounts. There's just, you know, like, it's not my account because there's no other accounts. It's not you. There's other accounts, and in comparison, it's mine. There are no other accounts. Anyway, so. But yeah, I would appreciate any help with that. I started work on a bunch of it. I just kind of keep going back through it and finish the playlist and all this kind of shit. The issue I ran into was I have to do my own other part of the thing that only I can do, which is go through all the VODs and remove the copyrighted music that blocks the ones that are blocked. Because there's a number of old episodes. Because back when I was just backing up the stream on YouTube, which is what the old episodes are, we were mainly on Kick still, if you guys remember. And I didn't really care about the videos being blocked or anything on YouTube. I didn't bother because I still had the video as a backup if I needed it, right? And I do. I still have them, but they're not visible. A number of them are not. A lot of them are not. Because I just played whatever music and shit, and I didn't care. And I never made an effort to really fix them. So I have to go back and look at everyone that's blocked for copyright reasons. I have to fix it. I have to either remove the music, edit out the part. So dumb. It's so dumb that doesn't count as transformative to play music on a thing. It should, I think. I hope this Ethan Klein thing resolves with giving more precedent to fair use. That would be awesome. Instead of him winning, I hope he loses. And it gives more precedent to fair use. That's what I hope. Like, I know lots of people hate the people that he's mad at, so they want them to lose and get screwed. But that's such a shitty reason to want legal precedent. So pathetic. I don't know. I want legal precedent because I don't like the people. Okay, great. That's how we all get fucked when you think that way. How we all get fucked. That's how you end up with really horrible laws. Really horrible everything. That's how you end up in a horrible world, is when you're like, I just want the people I dislike to get fucked. That's a horrible way to think. What's up, Robin Hood? Okay, I know this is crazy, but I need Pepto. I can read what you're saying, but what am I supposed to do about it? Can I suck you off for Pepto? Huh. No. No. But how am I supposed to help you with that in the first place? How am I supposed to help you with that in the first place? Yeah, I don't know. My thing about Pepto-Bismol... Are we talking Pepto-Bismol? Is that what we're talking about? Or what are we talking about? My thing about it is... I don't know. I'm taking this... When I was young, I used to take it sometimes, and I would throw it back up. It wouldn't work. When I got older, I've taken it a couple times. But then it, like... I don't know. I'd rather not take anything if I can avoid it. DoorDash or Pepto? Yeah. What's up, Dingus? Naga, he says. Naga. How come people don't just say Naga from World of Warcraft? How come people don't just say that when they're saying an alternate word? They say like ninja. Why not just say Naga? Naga, please. It sounds better. Sounds better than ninja. Ninja doesn't even sound like it. Naga though. Naga please. Nega Y is a meme because it sounds, yeah. Well, sure. I have a hiatal hernia, an esophagus hernia. That sounds horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, well, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. Today, guys, what we are doing, what are we doing? Trying to figure out what to play for the next main game. Here's some options I've been thinking of. Mother 1, Manji Maru, Growlancer 1. What else? You guys got any? I know we can also, there's Final Fantasy V, Dragon Quest V. Those are options too. What else? What do people watch on the internet? Could we do a scam day? Could we do a scam one? Like where we pretend we're playing some old Japanese game, but pretend it's something. What games are coming out right now, or just came out? Maybe we could do a scam one. You think that would work? I don't know. I thought that the Assassin's Creed Shadow one was going to be good, but nobody seemed to care about that. We seem to care about that. Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2. It's not really out yet, but I saw people playing it already. Premonition 3 remake. What in the world? What in the world? Assassin's Creed Shadows, Dune Awakening. Metal Gear Solid Delta. I can't care about Metal Gear Solid anymore, no offense. I saw a commercial for that, for Delta. It was on YouTube. Like I just had YouTube on, and it just played a commercial, and it was for Delta. It was like the voice actor sitting around eating food for a Metal Gear inspired meal, and it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It had the Solid Snake guy, because I know they don't have Kojima like on the project, so they have to like try and build up hype some other way, and so they do it the weirdest marketing way I've ever seen. It had like 4 of the voice actors sitting around eating. One was the big boss lady, one was the snake, and there was like 2 other people, like some lady that sung a song one time, and then the Snake Eater song, I think, and then somebody else, some dude, and they were sitting there eating and small talking, and that was the ad for the game. The ad for the video game was them eating food. It's fucking stupid. What is wrong with the world now? Like, what marketing retard came up with that? Hey guys, let's try something different. I know people are looking for a video game. Yeah, a video game about being in the jungle eating snakes. Let's have rich people sit around a nice table and eat nice food. Yeah, well, they'll be the voice actors of the game, you see. Okay. Dumb. Who came up with that? I wonder if I can find that commercial by YouTube it. Because it just came to in front of, like, it just somehow ended in my like, in front of a video. And I hated it. I hated everything about it. I watched it for a while because I couldn't believe it was happening. I was like, what is this? The voice actor of Snake is telling me about the food he's gonna eat in a minute? Why? What is this? And I was curious in how ridiculous it was, so I watched it for a little bit. A new big update drops for War Thunder at 4 a.m. East. You could play that. Yeah, okay. Sure, I guess. I could just become a War Thunder streamer now? Just transition to a War Thunder streamer? Okay. Alright, do what you gotta do. Let me see, hold on, if I can find this video. Solid Snake voice actor. What's his name? Eats food. There's no way that's gonna help me find it. Jim Cummings and David... Oh, David Hayter, that's right. David Hayter ad with food. There's no way that's gonna work either. Is it? Okay, so David Hayter And then, what's the new game? Sigma? Something Sigma commercial. With food. When it had with food at the end when it was typing it. I don't know, bro. I don't know how to find. Oh, I found it. Maybe Legacy series. Sometime Legacy series part 4. I think this is it. I think this is it. Hold on. This looks like what I watched, but it was just a commercial. This is like a YouTube. Hold on. I'll get it on the thing. Maybe they played this though. They might have played this.
Hey, I'm David Hayter.
Hold on.
I was the voice
As
of
the
Snake.
commercial. I think this is it. I'm
Big
remembering
boss
it
for
now.
the Metal Gear
Let me
Solid
get it.
series.
I'm trying
My
to go
Snake
quick.
forages
Nothing
for
was set up.
food throughout the entire game. And eats a lot of strange things.
It didn't work.
Everyone here at this table is connected with Metal Gear in various ways, and we wanted to get them together and celebrate them. And we thought, what better way to do
This
that
is the thing
than
though,
through
I
an
saw.
amazing meal.
This was
So
the
we're
ad.
going to be eating a Metal Gear themed meal.
Oh, you know
Possibly
what?
rabbit,
I changed the
possibly
camera. Hold
buttered
on.
crickets. Possibly we'll dine on a
Ignore what you're hearing with the guy
Very nice.
talking.
So
One
first of
second.
all, it's Lori Allen.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm Lori Allen. I'm the voice of the boss, and I'm very excited to be
There you
here.
go.
And I love you, Snake, forever and always.
Back at you, boss.
That's me.
I am Ruby Saki. I'm a cosplayer specializing
Turn it
in big builds.
This is what they're
truly
using to
an honor.
advertise
Thank you so much
this stupid new Metal Gear game.
for having me.
I'm Cynthia Harrell. I am the original Snake.
Who cares,
Eater
right? Who
singer.
gives a shit?
Just a little hot. Can I take this off?
It's not up.
Can you imagine this? Like, instead of like any staff you would ever care about, it's the fucking voice actors and the lady that sung the song one time.
Me?
No offense, ma'am. The song was well sung. I just don't understand what this has to do with the game.
Original.
Yeah.
Oh, there
I want to watch that. Can we watch that right now?
you go.
Original.
My name is Kyle. I'm a title designer. Obviously,
Who cares?
we worked on the titles for this.
Yeah,
Who
I'm Ben,
gives a
aka
shit?
Mall cosplay.
Oh wow, a cosplayer! Whoa! Whoa! And you're playing and you cosplay what? Metal Gear? Who
You
cares?
could say that my career somehow started with this.
Who gives a
this
shit?
year's an anniversary.
Now we're gonna start
My career is what? A cosplayer.
with an appetizer and
Oh, sorry. Hold on. We gotta turn the Sim stream on. The Sim stream isn't on. The Sims Premium is missing out right now. Sorry. Who gives a fuck about that? Ooh. Okay. What's up, stuff? Okay, hear me out. Ashes with a Superior Doom 2 mod that's a standalone game. Reminds me of Shadowrun. That sounds cool. On what? What is it to a Superior Doom 2 mod? So is it a WAD? I'd check that out. I would check that out. I'll check that out in a second. After we watch this Metal Gear thing, I'll check that out. Hold on, let me get the Sims thing running too. It's not going live, it's just circling. Hold on. Hold on, it's just circling. Go live, let me try again. That happened to me. Oh, there it goes. That happened to me 4-2. Okay, now how do I click this? I click this. I scroll down this. Change output settings. I change the key. Put the correct key. Save. Okay. Click this on. Okay. Now now I pop the Sims thing out. I pop the Sims thing out. Up, nerd. So I don't mess that up. Okay. Okay. Sim streams live. So everything's good. Streams live. I can see the chat. Back to whatever the hell this is.
don't know what it's going to be, but we're very excited because we have an
And
incredible chef.
hungry.
Can you imagine this? You're just sitting there watching YouTube. This is what happened to me, okay? I'm just sitting there watching YouTube, and this comes on as an ad. What is Konami thinking? This comes on as an ad in front of my video. A video game video, I assume. And I see this.
Serving us. So
How is this selling me the video game Metal Gear Solid Sigma? How is this selling me this?
let's do it.
Were they watching the intro? Okay. Cool. It's a full-on mod. I don't know how it's done though. I watched a few vids on it. I wish I could play it. We'll check it out. I hate it. This is not Sigma. This is Ligma.
To our Metal Gear themed inspired meal.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
Show you something.
Here's the thing. I don't know what the meal is, guys. I never got that far. I got maybe a little farther than this. I didn't watch it very long. I left it on because I was just confused why it was being made.
Pretty remarkable. The opening.
Like, okay, hold on. Let's go back again. Who is everyone? Let's try this again. Let's see if we can remember from the introductions. Okay, we have Solid Snake, some lady, Big Boss, the voice actress of Big Boss, some lady. I don't remember her. I think I was still setting up when it introduced her. That's the lady that sung the intro to Snake Eater one time. That is the guy that made the title card, and for some reason he's here. And then of course this is just a cosplayer that I guess cosplays Snake sometimes. So very interesting cast of people here.
Title sequence to Metal Gear Delta.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it's Delta.
Wow.
Sorry. Who
Oh my
cares?
goodness, that's beautiful.
Wow, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful.
Look at that. It's so.
Can you imagine sitting with these fucking elite assholes and like watching something like this, and they just sitting there with their fucking blowing hot air up each other's ass? Like, shut the fuck up.
Crisp and clear and
I
spectacular.
don't know how you do that, Kyle. It's magic.
Oh my god, shut up. Shut up. No. It's so fake. Oh, you're so
Oh.
fake. You guys are so
Yeah,
fake.
so this is Kyle's title sequence.
Yeah, I know. It's Kyle's title scene. We know you brought the title guy on. We know. I don't know why he's here.
Which is just astounding.
I'm
And of course, backed by
Astounding.
Cynthia Harrell's
Yes.
astounding voice.
It does look kind of cool.
Oh, and look at the
Look
snake.
how clean
Oh my
that snake
gosh.
is. Oh my
Shut up. Oh my god. It's not the...
I know.
Kyle, how long did it take you to do
Is this Konami? Where's the cute Japanese girls? Good question. They want solid snakes. So I'll settle for a Japanese twink.
this?
A couple months, I think.
It's
A couple months, he
gorgeous.
thinks.
I love how the titles flow in and out.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And the snake.
Shut up. Oh my god.
Twin snakes.
Whoa, did you see those snakes? Whoa, that's gorgeous. Whoa, beautiful, amazing, astonishing. Oh my god, he's so ugly and lifelike. Wow, that looks like a real person's face. It's all gross. Oh, amazing.
And I love
Logan.
the style of the style of the intro is like, you know, it's like a 60s era spy
Yeah.
movie or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, it was in the original one. Yeah, it was in the original intro. Yeah. This game's already been made, guys. You've already made this game. I already played it. You've already made this game, guys. You've already made this game. I've already played it. You're acting like this is something new. This is a revamp of the old title sequence, which had the same idea. Huh? Yeah, I know. We know. We've all played this game. We've all played Metal Gear Solid 3. We've all played it. We all know the game.
Oh my
So
gosh.
cool.
Just look at that. You're such a badass just wandering through the water, making your way through with all those muscles.
Oh my god. You know those two have had sex in real life, right? Probably. Almost certainly, these two. The Big Boss and Snake, with the way they're talking, the way she's talking to him.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you were talking to Maul,
Of course.
right? The world.
Yeah, it's a 007 ripoff intro. We know. So original. Yeah, we know, right? Yeah. The same title of the series declined. Yeah, we know. Yeah, when did Metal Gear become American? I don't know.
First Halo jump.
Oh,
That's the first Halo jump, guys, in real life. In real life, that's the first Halo jump. Snake did it. Snake did the first Halo jump in real life.
oh my
Yes.
gosh, that jump. Come on.
Had to put the cigar out first.
Oh my god, that jump. Come on. Shut your stupid face, you fake. Oh my god, that jump. Come on. Oh my god, that jump. Come on.
I love
did.
the color too.
The color.
Yeah, the
Isn't it
color.
beautiful?
Yeah, it's
The
like
color's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, because the original.
Yeah, it's
game
very
was
great
sepia.
brown.
This is just-
Whoa. It's so sepia
The work
tone.
they've done on this is incredible. And look,
It's amazing. It looks like nature.
there he is
Oh,
eating a.
snake.
Oh, look at that. It's like the title. It's the titular scene where he eats the snake. He's the snake eater, but it's no longer the title. It's now called Delta.
Dang. Ah! Oh my goodness. And look at the camo colors on the ground. Yes, and the bees.
Wow, camo on the ground. Ah, it's very amazing.
He's the pain.
Yep.
think he eats the bones too.
Really? Really?
Probably, well, they're good calcium.
It looked like he's eating the bones.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, he's
some days
eating. Snake eater.
You do feed on a tree frog.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And he eats the bones of the tree frog.
That's right.
Look at that.
It does seem, doesn't, am I wrong? Or it does seem like a more soulless version, doesn't it? They say Kojima's a hack, but I don't think so. I think they're hacks,
That is amazing.
to be honest. Not these guys necessarily, but like Konami more generally. Like, come on, man. Kojima's pretty cool. Kojima's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
Like when Kojima was doing it, it was an homage, right? It was an homage to 007. It was an homage to the old spy movies. When they're doing it, they're acting like they're like doing it better or something, you know? Oh, it's so amazing. Wow. Why are they talking about crime? What does that have to do with Metal Gear Solid?
Look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It's like
Yeah.
5D.
No, he's
not even
old,
3D.
yeah.
It's just,
Damn Volgan.
yeah, Volgan. Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
There's
There's
the
the
boss.
boss.
She's zipped up, but that's okay.
Why, boss? Why?
Because
His intro song is mid. Yeah. I mean, in the original intro, I really dug the original intro for Snake Eater. I thought it was pretty good. I remember watching it and being like, this is like a 007 intro, pretty solid. This one is like a remix of that one, but it's already been done, right? Like, so how can you make it better? I don't know. The idea's already been done. So you got to do like a slightly new idea. This isn't a new idea. It just has two snakes. Yeah, the only difference is it has two snakes instead of is the main difference.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
that's incredible.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Except there's two snakes is the main difference.
Cynthia, what a performance.
That sounds and looks unbelievable.
Shut up.
To tell
Pizza?
us what we'll be eating tonight.
Wait, what the fuck is sitting in front of them? A little heating thing? What is this? What, huh? What are they eating? Or maybe it is Japanese.
Legendary
What is this?
Chef, literal Iron Chef, Susar.
Yeah.
Hey everyone. Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, I'm going to give you a little instruction. Open the lid. I'm going to put some shallots, and then I'm going to continue to give you a little instruction. Yeah, open the lid. I'm going to give a
What is this bizarre thing they're eating? What does this have to do with Metal Gear Solid?
the shallots on the top.
Ooh.
Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, it's so Metal
That
Gear.
is not a treat.
Ah, I get it. Those things are like a box that the food is hiding in. That's why it's like Metal Gear, right? Those are like little boxes the food is hiding in. Ah, I see. It's like metal. It's just like Metal Gear. It's just like Metal Gear. Okay, this guy, the chef, is the first Chad. Yeah, well, the chef probably has to be confident of being a chef. The Fury. What does this have to do with Metal Gear Solid Snake? Carrot lemongrass soup with poached shrimp. They don't have shrimp in the jungle, bro. Poached shrimp in the jungle? Do you ever play the game? How is this a theme? Vegetables and dumplings with fucking shrimp? He's in the jungle, bro. Where's he getting the shrimp from? Sorry, I need to calm down. This food is pissing me off immediately. Carrot lemongrass soup with poached shrimp. The Fury. It makes no sense. Sub out shrimp for spinach and mushroom dumplings. Okay. I'll say they name them after the characters, but there's not something the character could eat in the game.
So the broth, I use carrot juice.
Snake Eater didn't have vegan options. I know. Isn't vegan options so against the theme of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater? He's eating snakes because he's gotta, bro. He ain't eating snakes because he likes them.
And give a very
What is he gonna do? Eat just the mushrooms that charge his batteries all day?
natural, fragrant, and by the way, it's organic carrot
Eat the
juice.
tofu snake,
And
yeah.
you will find
Eat the snake. Eat the tofu snake.
the little chili, just one piece.
Okay.
That is something you will remember. It's like, okay, that's a chili. Enjoy it.
I remember carrot soup really got me through the jungle in Metal Gear 3.
Yeah, see? He's making a stupid joke about it because it's stupid.
Oh my gosh, just the broth.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
We may not be able to talk about it because it's so good.
I know.
Yes. This is absolutely delicious.
Wow, I love in a video when people just eat food and then they talk about the food. That's stunning content.
Now it's hot as the bejesus. While we're enjoying this spectacular appetizer,
Wow, oh, great.
maybe we go around the table and talk about how we all got into Metal Gear, how we
Got into
drawn
Metal
into the-
Gear. Oh yes, can't wait for the
incredible
voice
world.
actors to tell me how they got into Metal. The voice actors and the title card guy, they don't have a single creative person involved in making the game. Am I wrong? There's not a single person at this table involved in making the game. None of these people are involved in making the game, right? Am I wrong? Yes, I know they're voice actors, but they're directed by like actual, you know, like a voice director. Like they have a writer that wrote the lines. They're not really involved in the game. They're like a superficial element of involvement in the development of the game, right? They just go in a room, they read their lines. They're not really involved in the game. Why are we listening to them about the game?
My parents are voice actors.
Okay, so the voice act for the boss is a bit of a baddie, though. None of this has to do with the game besides the name. Yeah, exactly. Otakon, do you have any kosher or vegan options for this mission? Otakon, I need vegan options, quick. Otakon, can you secure me some vegan options for this carrot soup?
Theater majors in the DC area, so I kind of followed in my family's footsteps. I sort of didn't have any other choice but to do that. I think if I had ever come home and said, I want to be a lawyer or doctor, they would have been like, what? And then I was doing lots of animation and commercials and promos, and I remember auditioning for this. That's how it started for me.
Ruby, what drew you to create?
They did model the character after, right? You can tell, right? They did model the character after. They did model Big Boss
I remember
after.
auditioning for this. That's how it started for me.
Ruby,
Right?
what drew you?
Hold
to
on, you
create-
can't. I was
Lawyer or
hoping.
doctor,
Look,
they would have been like, what?
you can see her here.
Then I was doing lots of animation and commercials and promos.
They did
and
model
I
the
remember
character
auditioning
after.
for this. That's how it started for me.
Ruby, what drew you to create your own Rex cosplay?
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually,
Oh, this is a cosplayer. This is a cosplayer. This isn't like a. So two of the people at the table have no involvement with the game at all. They're just cosplayers. They just like the game and they just dress up like the game. Oh my god.
my first Metal Gear cosplay.
Who fucking cares what your first Metal Gear cosplay was? Who fucking cares? Come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
Blade Wolf from Metal Gear Rising.
Who fucking cares on that?
Oh wow.
Okay.
That
You were the dog? You were the dog?
got good reviews, and I was able to connect with a lot of fans.
You became the dog?
The connection of Metal Gear fans that inspired me to make more.
What is that stupid suit you're wearing? That's supposed to be the ninja guy? That's supposed to be the Bryden? Shut up. Shut up. It doesn't look fully like him. It doesn't look like him.
And I never stopped making things. I love making things. And
Stop.
I
Stop making
grew up
things.
playing video games and watch anime. And
Oh my God.
That's, like making costumes.
So two cosplayers and they aren't smoking babes. Exactly. The most attractive woman at the table is a voice actor.
It's like something that I do on the side.
It's an older voice actor.
Cynthia, how
Mind
did you
you.
get into all of this?
A friend of mine who also worked on Snake Eater asked me if I would sing the demo. And I did it. Never thought anything about it.
Oh my gosh.
The next thing I knew, I was being asked to do it as the final one.
Oh my God.
It wasn't until I actually got into the studio and I saw this big orchestra. I'm thinking it was just,
You sang with the orchestra?
well, after they recorded, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's just,
So no is the answer. You sang with the orchestra? Well, after they were done recording it. Yeah. That means no. That means no. You didn't sing with the orchestra. You sang an accompanying track or whatever, and they put it together. They mixed it together. You didn't, though. The answer is no. The answer is no.
it's just going to be, keyboards
Like a
with
synthesizer,
enhanced stuff,
The answer is
It
no.
was the orchestra.
They did it separately, and you sung it separately.
I thought the first time I heard the song that it sounded like it was from the 60s.
She's hot like that one friend's mom, right? Right. We're down to the boss
It
lady.
wasn't until I actually started playing the
Sure,
game
sure.
that it made sense to me that that song went with that game.
Yeah.
And when I heard it and I saw them,
Wow, it went just for the game. Amazing. It went so well. You did amazing.
the newspapers, you know.
Yeah, the newspaper
going
scene. Wow.
around on the screen, it's like, oh
amazing.
my God.
Yeah.
Can I say a bad word?
I wish you would.
I just had to say, this is the shit.
So Kyle, what was your first
This is the shiznit.
game? How did you get into this?
Well, we designed the opening credits for Sons of Liberty.
The Hudson River 2 years ago.
Sons of Liberty. So he didn't work on the original one. He only worked. Sons of Liberty is what, 4? He didn't work on the original one.
Sound like a guy I know. Can't place it.
Da-na-na. Yeah, that was great. That was a great experience.
He didn't work on 3. We don't even have the title card guy for 3. Where's 3's title card guy?
And then we ended up working on this.
I don't want the remake guy. I want the first title card guy.
It's absolutely beautiful, and it's not what I expected, and I want to watch just the
Where's the
title
first
sequence
one?
over,
Yes.
right?
Where's the guy that made the real one?
Over.
Not this
Good to know.
knockoff
Thank you for-
second tier coffee. Look how fucking proud of himself he is for making a knockoff piece of junk.
for saying that.
And then what?
I mean, it's so mean to him. But come on, man. We've already seen the title sequence. It's already been made. It was better before. This one, you got two stupid snakes flying around with their bones. Great. That's all you changed. That's all you did different in this one. The other one was cooler. Go back to that one.
So I understand that
Again,
your
cringe. Yeah.
cosplay career sort
He was
of
fired for
started with
Is that true?
So I worked for Metal Gear Phantom Pain at Gamescom, and the photo shoot was our own idea.
Listen to this. All these people got into Metal Gear like last week. Phantom Pain. He's wearing some fake Japanese shirt. It says Warrior something, Moon, just
Because we're
random
having
shit on it.
This was actually the first big photo shoot. Since then, it somehow became like a trademark. I always do big photo shoots.
There's some kind of sentence on the moon. I can't read it though.
Sometimes for brands, but very often just for fun. We thought, let's do it with real wolves. It was a great experience with wolves. You think maybe they are dangerous.
Scary.
wolves are
Yeah.
No.
Beautiful
The
animal.
wolves are so scared of you.
They are?
Yeah, so it was very difficult to get them to do what they need to do for the shoot because they were so scared. When he was running, we did some running pictures. You couldn't hear the wolf. You couldn't hear
He doesn't really look that much like Snake, honestly. He honestly doesn't. Honestly, doesn't look that much like Snake.
When he was running, we did some running to do
You know?
what
Not really, right? He doesn't really look like him.
they need to do for the shoot because they were so scared. When he was running, we did some running
Not really.
pictures.
I know they good costume and makeup and stuff, but the man's face does not look like the guy.
You couldn't hear the wolf. You couldn't hear the steps on the ground.
just
That was the
stealthy.
scary
His build
part.
and his
So
face don't look
know
like the
those
guy.
are predators. Because when they are behind you, you can't hear them. And that was a great photo shoot. But later we did another photo shoot.
I hate all these people and their opinions and everything they stand for, and I don't even know who what those are. All white people look alike. He really doesn't look like him, right? Like he doesn't.
With wolf puppies.
Oh.
There was a very small one.
cute.
He doesn't look like
a very
Snake at
small one.
all.
We did just one picture.
Like this one looks kind of like Snake because it's not his face 90% of it. It's a eye patch and makeup and whatever else. You're hiding his face. That's why this one kind of looks like him.
Because the mother was standing next to me and it was screaming.
Yeah.
Right.
I took it for one picture and then
David,
Yes.
I'm Lori Allen.
Oh, hey, Lori
It's
Allen.
so nice to meet
I'm
you.
such a fan.
You look very familiar. You sound very familiar
I
to me.
do. Well,
I like how the cosplayer girl is like, what am I in the middle of? Right? He's like, these motherfuckers know each other. What is this bit they're doing in front of my face like this? These motherfuckers know each other. They're flirting in front of my face like this. What is happening? What is going on here? What is happening? My federal attorney gave a gun today for me. Huh? Why do you need a gun? Guess I'll do it. What? Gave a gun today for me. What are you doing? What do you mean? What's happening, Robin Hood? What are you being given a gun for? What's happening? You called it, Craig. They fricked before. I'm telling you, the way they were talking, And then the way this lady is acting, it secures it, right? She knows there's something, like there's been something already, and now she's like, huh, what's this about?
And back at you.
So
boss.
tell us your story about how, well, first of all, just quickly, you're also a film writer, a voice artist, all the things, but tell us specifically.
He looks like what? Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 3? I would have fricked.
About Metal Gear and how this happened for you.
There's some dispute as to how I got called in for Metal Gear. Chris Zimmerman
Robin Hood, don't do it. You have to save Sherwood. Yeah, that's true. We need our taxes back. Robin Hood, don't do it. We need our taxes back. You gotta defeat the sheriff. You're gonna defeat the sheriff.
says that she called me in. Jennifer Hale
We need our
says
taxes back.
she told Chris to call me in. We went to this house.
I'm gonna keep reminding people of that every time we talk about Robin Hood, the fairy tale, because people really don't know it's about taxes anymore. They think it's rob from the rich, give to the poor. That's not what he was doing. That's not what he was doing at all.
That was doubling as casting and as a sound stage. Up on the walls, they had the Yoji Shinkawa artwork.
Oh.
Wow.
And so that was my first indication.
That's the guy, the main Metal Gear guy, the guy that does all the character design. The Shinkawa is.
That because I'd never seen
Shinkawa's
anything
sick. I like
that cool
Shinkawa.
before. I mean, it was just so badass, and
It is
that's when I
badass. Shinkawa art is badass. He's right on this part.
started to realize, oh, this might be kind of cool. And then I was at a friend's
True.
place,
Sigh,
and my
yeah.
phone rang, and I went.
The rich tax collector. Well, yeah, he's rich because he's exploiting everybody for their taxes. He was robbing from the state, the sheriff. Well, he wasn't robbing, right? He was returning. He was taking the tax money and giving it back.
Out to the pool, and I answered it, and it was Jennifer Hale, and she said,
He was doing the opposite of stealing. He was reclaiming. He was reclaiming the people's property for them.
"Who's going to make some money?" I was like, "Is it me?" And we went back to the.
He was the actual just person, by in this scenario was Robin Hood.
Same house, and in the living room, they had set up 5 mics in a row, and then a little table where the engineers were. And,
Oh yeah.
But you could.
He had to
hear-
rob the state. Well, I understand, but what I'm saying is it's not robbery, because robbery is stealing somebody else's property. It's only their property because of possession, right? But it's not really their property. Remember, what was the different? What's the other kinds of property? Like, it's in a way it's still their property, right? Legally, it should still be their property, but because of the way it's set up, it's not. But it should be. It should be their property. It should be protected.
hear the traffic outside. They said, "We want to show you a scene from the game," and they showed me the scene where
We
Snake
just had,
shoots
we just as now, then had fucked up laws about taxation, as we do now too,
down the hind
that are unfair to
and
people.
our jaws were on the floor. We had never seen anything like it, and at that point,
Money is part of property, and it should be protected. It shouldn't be allowed to be just taken by the state. I don't know how you get people to agree to that, though. Money should be property. Should be considered property. It is property. It should be considered property. We should have all the protections of property should apply to money.
I started.
So
to
the state
realize,
shouldn't be able to take
okay, I
it.
think this will be
Yeah.
a popular
Yeah.
thing, and
They should have put it in the fucking declaration. They should have said property instead of happiness, I think. Then people would shut the fuck up about it.
I did not know that I would be getting an amazing gourmet meal for it 28 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, I mean, you were the
Gio wouldn't take the job of tax collector in Sherwood. Gio would, you think? Did he die of illness, like an infection from an arrow? Who, Robin Hood? I think that is something people like. I think in one of the stories that's true. But I don't think Robin Hood is only partially true or something, right? It's like it's folklore. It's like it's. I swear that I don't remember. I remember looking up and there's like a real person, kinda, right? But not really, or something. It's mostly folklore.
glue that holds us together. You are the glue.
But I don't know what happened to the real guy that it's based on. I don't know. If you know, let me know. I don't know. Leafy, what the? Welcome. Nice to see you. We're watching Metal Gear Solid, where this was okay. So let me explain the backstory here. I was watching YouTube and I got a random commercial from Metal Gear, and I was like, this is weird. And it's just voice actors and cosplayers because they don't have anybody that worked on the game, and they're eating food and they're trying to sell us Metal Gear the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake by eating food, by eating some kind of soup, and it's very bizarre.
Not true. I'm the actor who was lucky enough to be cast
Yeah, we talked Robin Hood from the Edge. It's folklore. Yes, yeah.
in this incredible role.
Just say
And
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Leafy, we gotta get you on the on one of the get you some Simps keys, because on Simps we watched a movie again. We're back watching movies again. We watched what did we watch yesterday? Time Cop. We watched Time Cop this morning. Pretty fun.
If you look at this little character, you can actually eat it. It's made out of rice.
Okay, it looks like poop though. It doesn't look like a snake. It looks like poop.
Flour,
Right.
and also a little bit of cornstarch. So it's like eating like a noodle.
It's like eating poop is what it's like. It's like eating poop. It's a punishment to atone for our sins, yeah. Not gonna lie, man, I blocked out this video. It's just white noise at this point. You know, look at the poop though. Look at the poop though.
Nest is actually taro, which is Asian root vegetable, and the sauces is really inspired by Sichuan province. It's a little bit of tingling sensation. It's not an allergy reaction, okay? Don't get scared.
Is it
Uh-oh, what if it is an what if it is an allergic reaction?
Little spicy.
Ghost turds, yeah.
Not hot, spicy.
okay?
Enjoy.
Thank
So wait, is this the main meal or what is this now?
Yes,
The main meal is the poop?
I'm going to try the snake first.
Let's go for the
I'll be with you in a
Yeah,
moment.
you cut off the head first. That's the key.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is so amazing.
I hate when people don't like this. So what about you guys? When people are like so fake, like, this is so delicious. I have no idea if it's good at all now, right? Because he's talking like that. Come on, ma'am. How am I supposed to know it's good? Don't fake that. There's no way this is so delicious. Come on, tell me what it actually tastes like.
Amazing.
I want to get into a little bit of process, like Ben, can you tell us how you develop the perfect
Process of what? Cosplayers? What does that have to do with Metal Gear Solid? Who cares? I don't care about his cosplay Are you kidding me?
cosplay?
I love to use a lot of silicone and resin.
Who fucking cares?
And for Snake, for example, the tactical undersuit, in the game it looks like it's made of
I don't
concrete.
care. I'm sorry. I do not give a
lot
shit.
to talk
But
about
then now we get the other cosplayers
process when it
style.
comes with the-
Nope,
and
nope,
put
nope.
together
Don't
a
care.
layer,
How do you
Don't give a shit.
Yeah, and stay.
Amazing.
Do not care.
What the brief is, I listened to this.
Oh, what is he talking
We're
about?
going to be kind of
Sorry,
working
I
together.
was really going forward. Please stop orgasming over your food, man. My bout friend made me give it all away. My bout friend? I made 100 BTC selling drugs, charged me. What happened? Robin Hood, how do you have so you and your friend made you give it all away? Why? Why are you rich now? Robin Hood, why are you rich? Also, do you have Simskis yet or not yet? You should invest in Kraken Reeds with some of what are your crypto.
And Kyle, what is
Invest in
your process
Cranky
when you
Reeds,
go
though.
into like a complex title sequence?
You kind of meet with the client and understand or determine what the brief
Crypto
is.
money bags.
If there's
I
a
have
brief
nothing.
that,
Can I
you know,
have
is
one? We can't gift yet, Leafy, but yes, you can. The guy will give you coins automatically. On the Simp site. If you sign up for it, all you gotta do is you go to the website, link your Twitch or your Twitter to it, and the guy will send you $30 worth. And then you can buy my keys like $10, I think, like $9. And then Carl's key is like $2. And then you have like $18 left to buy whatever you want on the site to try and make some money.
existing. I listen to the client. Whoever
You're
I'm
for free.
working
You don't
with,
gotta
I
put no
listen
money
to
in.
them. And
I have nothing. I can like. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, on Simps he'll give you $30. He'll give you $30 with a Simp, and that's like I said, my key is what? Hold on. Let's look at the website real quick. My key I think is $8, $9. Let's see. 957 is mine. 957. Look at us watching. There's a preview of us there. And then Carl's is he's not on here no more. Here it is. Carl's is 218. Carl's is 218. Who's this pasty fuck even talking to? I don't know. Look at us killing it on this website, though. Look at this. Now, this peon stuff person, I think is having a mental breakdown. You guys notice that? They're just posting like random shit. They bought keys to my room and then sold them. I think they're having some kind of breakdown. You got Ravi on here with $16. Mother ducker. I saw Bug Rub was up to 16 for a minute and people sold off. That's the thing about this website, though. Is like when sometimes people get really high, people will sell off to make some money. Right? Like they did. Look what happened. He sold 7, 4, 2, 3. But on the other hand, that makes it a good time to buy in again. But people just sell off like that sometimes. That's that's just how it goes. Somebody tried, I mean, they sold off on Carl's too. Hold on, look. Carl's was up to like $3. And then people started selling off too. But these are just random people I've never met, so it makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, they're schizo posting. Oh, the P person? Yeah. I started at $35 in crack keys. Now they're worth over $100. Hell yeah. We want to see my portfolio? Hold on. What? Oops. What is mine worth right now? 243. Not bad. And then I made $30 in trades. So on your room, you make 5%. So that's where you make the money. Is 5% on your room. And I made $30 so far. Which, I mean, that's not too bad, right? Considering we're just getting the ball rolling. We'll see by like the end of the month how we actually did. But I'm digging that. That's like half a month. We made $29. It's not a lot, but at least you're making money right away. You know, it's something. And then you can make the money investing in the keys. I should have sold something here. I think that was Bug Rub. I think this was Bug Rub being worth a bunch. But yeah. If you smartly buy keys, you can definitely make a lot of money here. But anyways, back to this wonderful ad. Yeah, something's wrong with that. You guys want me to link the thing in case you want to go to the website? Hold on. How do I link my rooms? I put it in the description now. Put it in the description now. This one. I put it in the description now. Shut up. Yeah, put in chat. There you go. In case you want to get on there. If you don't, okay, you don't have to.
Just start with an animatic, like start with a kind of a sketch, like a storyboard.
Oh my God, his process, the title card guy.
Storyboard frames, maybe in Photoshop.
Oh my God.
We made Photoshop frames first, and the snakes, what the snakes would look like, we made. Those
Oh
were in
my
3D.
God.
How do you get those
Who
snake
cares?
skeleton models? Like, where does that come from?
I think I purchased the model,
He bought them on the asset store. Are you kidding me?
and then animated it. This whole sequence with him, you know, based on snakes.
He bought them at the asset store. He didn't even have a guy on staff make it.
Took all the footage that we wanted and made an edit first, and then kind of peppered in the snakes.
Nice
And I
crack
built
pipe.
the-
Wow.
Midnight.
It's really mesmerizing. It's like a whole.
Yeah.
It's just an.
Oh, I gotta make it so I can
extraordinary
pull in
moment.
Sims chat.
How do you
right?
come into a situation this unusual and unique and specific and then make it your own?
Starting at 10 years old, I was a jingle singer. I was on. I would say.
Her I'm kind of interested in, to be honest. The singer lady I'm kind of interested in because singing's cool, you know? Singing's kind of cool. Singing's always kind of cool. Having a good singing voice, it's not nothing. And like using it and doing cool song, like singing cool things. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's cool. I dig that. The cosplaying things I don't think are real talents. I think that's lame. But the singing, that's a real talent, right? That's an actual thing. What I wonder, like, how she got to be where she is.
25% of the ones that you saw and heard, I was
Wow.
on until my retirement. So this is a different
Yeah. She sung the song. Yes.
genre, and I love it.
David, what about you?
Me. So I
Yeah, the
auditioned
only person anybody gives a shit about, actually involved in the old games. Yes. What about you, bro?
for Snake, but I used
You know what's funny? This whole section is called Carrot Soup, even though they clearly pulled out the other thing, the other entree and stuff. They called it Carrot Soup the whole time.
my regular voice. So, my voice was sort of pitched up here. I
Yeah.
sort of sounded like an arrogant fighter pilot. So it would have been like, Colonel, I'm going after Metal Gear, which just sounds ridiculous now. And then
Here's something I wonder about voices. You guys that stream or anything, or do talk a lot. I don't know, like, I wonder, people say your voice, I mean, obviously my voice has changed over the years a little bit, but I wonder if it's really changed so much as like widened. Like, I feel like I could still sound like I used to if I tried. Like, I don't think you lose capability. I think you just get more. And then like your standard talking voice can change and stuff because you just get like different, you just have like different inclinations, in how you're speaking, I think. But I think you could still sound like you used to sound like mostly. I don't know. What physical changes actually happen to your voice if you speak a lot?
I got the script, and in the beginning of the script, Snake is living, he's retired.
Like more than a regular person.
He's living on this ranch in Alaska. He wants to be left alone. And he's already a legend. Everyone he runs into is like, oh my God, you're the legend and stuff like that. And I was like, this voice doesn't
Go
fit.
with that.
And so just reading it, I felt like he just doesn't want to be bothered. He doesn't want to be dragged back. And so I just felt like he needed more weight. He
So that's how he's adding that gravel to it?
needed to feel more like he had been dragged over a bunch of bad road. And
What's up, Joshy? Metal Gear Solid, Marvel's Capcom 2, Counter SNK 2. Let's see, play all these. Maybe shoot 'em up. Maybe. We'd like to see Metal Gear Solid. That could be cool. Oh, like the first one. Would we play PlayStation version or what was it? The GameCube remake? Which one were you thinking? The first regular PlayStation one?
I don't know. I just sort of felt
That'd be
like
cool.
people are gonna dig this because I was digging it because I was fired up.
We still have to play Snatcher again, I think. We played Police Knots recently, which I could make into a video, but I don't think we have the means to do that with Snatcher. I know also Bugrub suggested regular Metal Gear 1 and 2. Like not Solid, like 1 and 2. I think that'd be cool. I think maybe we do 1 and 2 and then into Metal Gear Solid as a thing at some point for sure. I think that'd be cool, right? 1 and 2 are not that long to play. Play Metal Gear 1 and 2, and then play Metal Gear Solid. I think that'd be cool. PlayStation version, yeah, okay. Sure. A shoot 'em up. I might play. I'd like bullet hell games. I've played those before. People liked watching them when I played it too. So maybe too. Yeah. I think those are more intermission kind of games though, right? The more than like a long-term game. Metal Gear Solid 1 would take a little while though.
Even
was
when
a
you
grub.
call me, you'll call me and you're like,
That'd be a good one.
it's like this is
Wait, see, look at this. When you call me, do you hear her? Remember when I called earlier? They had sex. Listen to this.
I was fired up by it.
even
was
when
a
you
grub.
call me,
Huh?
you'll call me and you're like, Lori.
Even when you call me? What? What do you mean when you call me? What are the... And earlier they were like, oh, nice to meet you, shaking hand. Uh-huh. They definitely had sex, right? These two definitely had sex. Maybe Final Fantasy 3? For Final Fantasy, it would probably be either Final Fantasy 5 or Dragon Quest 5, because we started this retrospective, Joshy, a while ago, where I wanted to play 4, 5, and 6 of both Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, and then play Chrono Trigger, because I felt like that's the evolution of that was kind of like the evolution of games, and a lot of the people that worked on Chrono Trigger worked on either of those other games, those 3 games, right, or 6 games. A lot of the staff in Chrono Trigger, most of the staff in Chrono Trigger worked on one or the other of those games. 4, 5, and 6 of either one. Most of the staff is from one or the other studio, right? I think that would be cool. So it would be Final Fantasy 5 would be the one on the table, because we beat Final Fantasy 4 and we beat Dragon Quest 4 before. I wouldn't play them again. Final Fantasy 4 I didn't really like. I want to like one though. I want to like a Final Fantasy. 1, 2, and 3. Same with Dragon Quest. I just kind of feel like they're. I don't know. People. I don't really need to see them. Is what I feel like. I don't really need to see those ones. I kind of get them well enough. I think. But I mean, yeah. I don't think I need to see them. You kind of get them without playing them. I think. I've seen Reno, Game Center guy, play some of the early ones.
It's a snake. I'm like, every time.
That's not what
Game
I
Center
Every time.
CX.
What do I say?
You say
Bullet Hell games only take 2 hours. Yeah, it's true.
boss.
FF5,
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger is spectacular. Yeah, well, of course, yeah, Chrono Trigger is a great game. Yeah, of course. But yeah, Final Fantasy 5 is a solid vote, I think. I would like to play that. I would like to play Final Fantasy 5. And then we would play Dragon Quest 5. And then Dragon Quest 6. And then I think Final Fantasy 6 actually comes after Chrono Trigger chronologically. Is that true in publishing date? Hold on. Am I misremembering? Let me see. Final Fantasy 6 is what year? 1994? Maybe not. Hold on. When's Chrono Trigger? Chrono Trigger, what year? 95. No, Chrono Trigger is still after. Okay, just checking. Okay, so wait, what is the years though? I think Dragon Quest comes before Final Fantasy 5, but we could play those either way probably. Let me see. Final Fantasy 5 is what year? 92. And then Dragon Quest 5 is when? 92. Oh, they're the same year. Okay, that works fine then. The same year we could go Final Fantasy 5 then Dragon Quest 5. I think Dragon Quest was earlier in the year though. September, maybe not. September is Dragon Quest. December. Oh, they both came out holiday season. December 6th is Final Fantasy 5. And then September is Dragon Quest 5. Right before the holidays, Dragon Quest. During the holidays. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, Dragon Quest did kind of come up once earlier, but they're basically the same contemporaries. And then you got Dragon Quest, and then Dragon Quest 6 was when? 1995. Wow, so they tied up in 5 and 6. 4, they were significantly apart, right? Hold on, Final Fantasy 4 was, what year was that one? 1991. Yeah, these ones are far apart. And then Dragon Quest 4 is what? These ones are like a couple years apart. 1990. Yeah, okay. No, it was there 1 year apart. Anyway, I feel like those are the building blocks for Chrono Trigger. I don't think without Final Fantasy 5, without Dragon Quest 5, without Final Fantasy 6, without Dragon Quest 6, you wouldn't have Chrono Trigger, I don't think.
Snake. And we're grown men.
Exactly.
Well,
Sort of. So Lori, how did it come together? How did the boss?
Final Fantasy 5 is a good
because I
one
have
though.
to stop eating. This is
I'm here for it, yeah?
I know.
Yeah, I'd like to
I was
do
like,
that.
I have to slow down. See, there.
Maybe that's a good play too, because we're trying to do something good for the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, maybe that's the play. We'll
Okay. I
do.
wanna take-
I'm definitely putting that down the voting. Hold on. Final Fantasy 5 is definitely in the running for voting. I'm gonna put it. Hold on. Waiting for the notepad to
It's
open.
back to my
Yay, the
hotel.
design off the plate.
It's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be a voting
Well, I
option.
knew how smart she was,
Right.
and so I
Final
knew that she
Fantasy
was
5. Okay.
very self-assured. She was, a one-woman
Another
show.
one that's for
She had to
sure
defend-
is Manji Maru. Manji Maru is for sure. Yeah, in the voting for sure. Legend of Heroes 1 maybe? Legend of Heroes 1. Okay. And then Mother. And I think that's all the ones I for sure want to put in the voting. There's already 4 things. We still have more room though. Final Fantasy 5, Manji Maru, Legend of Heroes, Mother. Maybe take out Manji Maru for now. I don't know. I know some people that want to watch it might not be around for a little bit still. Unsure how they're doing. I don't know.
herself.
I'm
She
thinking
had to
about
make sure that she was respected. And
I think anything
not
you
even
play
so
will
much
get you
admired. She
views.
had work to
400 was
do. She
yeah,
has
we
such a
crossed
calling,
400. It's exciting.
Such a profound.
We crossed it offline though. I wasn't on when it happened. It was $3.99 yesterday, and then today it was $4.01.
calling for justice. It's
very
her
cool, yeah.
commitment to her.
We're actually getting close to 500, where it feels like we will get it eventually. I still don't know, how long, but it seems like attainable. However, with the Sims thing, I've got less and less interest in the money opportunity of it, but I do like the growth potential of YouTube. So it will be exciting to be able to host people and network that way. So I am still hype about the 500. But like the memberships and stuff seem kind of lame still. I'm still going to encourage, I think, monetization on the other things because I make more percentage on any of my other options like Streamloots or Simps or direct donations. I get a significantly higher cut, right? Even Streamloots, I get 90% because I'm a partner. Super Chats, I only get 30%. Pretty crappy. Pretty crappy cut on those.
Country that keeps her that focused sound.
But you give up that cut for the discoverability and for the free market and stuff, right? You give it up. But I still want to encourage the other ones probably.
Interaction between our characters is so complex.
But I mean, also I'll take Super Chats when I can get them.
And I feel like that's what makes this game so
If that's the only way.
incredible, is all the complexities of
The key is to make shorts, just hot takes and current events of the character your choice reacting.
relationships. They are real and complicated.
I don't know, man.
and
I think
layered.
people that are looking to watch shorts probably don't have very long attention spans. And I think you gotta have a pretty long attention span to enjoy the stream. So I think I'd be advertising to a group that wouldn't be interested in the stream. I don't know.
And amazing to play, to listen, to voice, all the things. Yeah.
The fear. Spicy red pepper, raspberry and orange juice, palate cleanser shot. Vegan friendly, but spicy. Okay, so would he be eating this in the middle of the woods? Spicy red pepper, raspberry and orange juice, palate cleanser shot? You think Snake had a lot of palate cleansing?
We have
I don't know if I do.
Here.
I don't know if I do have to do that.
Wife informed us that he was big into spicy foods, and so
Because my issue is if I get too many people that like are low attention span kind of tight, then they'll demand lots of things too, and they'll be a pain in my ass, and they're not fun to deal with as a streamer. Those type of people.
Chef Susar has prepared us this.
We have spicy, that's number 1. 2 is raspberry.
Because the thing about streaming is I have to deal with the people that it attracts too. You know, it's not like you get to not deal with them. It's not like just making media and putting it out there like videos. You know, you have to interact with the people you bring in.
And also red pepper. So incorporate.
So I want to bring in
that
people I would want to
fruit
interact with, you
and
know.
vegetable. And I think that is a perfect combination. It's like a gazpacho.
Yeah.
Well, big sip, don't take a small sip, big sip.
All right. Enjoy it.
What about these two?
They were a little afraid to go too spicy.
Too
so
spicy.
Okay.
It's just
Like if I have to deal with a lot of people I don't like dealing with, eventually it's going to burn me out and I might end up quitting. It's something I'm thinking about in the future. And you could say, would you quit, Cranky Reads? No, but I'm also avoiding things that would burn me out like that purposefully, right? Like, how many people do you see that get burned out? It's most.
us.
Okay,
soldiers.
fellas.
There we go. Kyle,
Cheers.
this is your
May-
fault.
Not my fault.
God bless you, my children.
I think a large part of that is dealing with those types of people. Entitled weirdos.
All right.
I say not all, but most.
That's spicy.
It's good though.
You ever thought about interviewing people with Space Ghost style? Yeah. We did a Space Ghost episode when what's his name died. A Spooky Ghost Coast to Coast episode.
That's very. I mean, the flavors are
The
amazing.
raspberry.
Look at it. He's like that.
I've been inviting people on. Only some people agree though. I got an interview with Kick Viewbot not too far in the future. I just gotta set it up. But yeah, I want to start having people on. Golden Boy said he'll come on next time.
It's fine.
Leafy, is Leafy around right now? I want Leafy to come on at some point
You're
too.
just like, I like spicy. It doesn't seem to, it's like milk to you.
Come on.
The raspberry.
I like
You're
it.
missing it.
Okay.
Raspberry.
Can
in
we
it.
have some?
What the heck? Mochi with banana and dark chocolate sauce with raspberry coolness. I don't know what coolness is.
Bomb is right on
And
the
I'm
plate.
deaf? Oh, from the not all? Yeah, it was really loud.
I've
I've seen more than a few videos on how shorts aren't converting to long form video viewers. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes logical sense to me that a lot of those people, I mean, I know a guy, Kick Clips, he tried and like he didn't like any of the short, like the short people didn't seem to transition. Like I know a couple people that have said that, and they even said, like, I even knew a guy that wanted to like start his channel over because he went so hard on shorts that he felt like he couldn't get like the long form thing to work anymore. Yeah, I don't know.
A version of it. One is a Japanese, and also there's a Peking style of the Chinese. So it is a mochi with banana and also with chocolate. And the other one is,
To me, it seems like my best bet for YouTube is not shorts, but edited long form, sophisticatedly edited long form versions of this, like cut down versions of the long form streams, like into just the most interesting and exciting, you know, parts. Like I think that's that's what I should be doing on YouTube, probably ideally. Currently I don't have the time. I'm thinking about if I can hire an editor or work in the time, like stream less, but I also want to work on my game, so ideally it'd be hire somebody to do that. Obviously I'm willing to do revenue share and give most of the revenue to anybody that would want to do that. I'm willing to give 100% of the revenue if somebody wants to do that. 100. I'm willing to give it all.
banana with sandwich of red beans. Enjoy it.
So I want you to take a look at how beautiful this is. A lot.
But I think that's my best option, because those videos would directly like correspond to people that would be interested in the stream too, probably, right? Because like, it would just be like the longer, more uncut version of the same show that they already like.
And it is spectacular.
Yes, it is.
I couldn't. You guys know that would kill me. Mochi's rice based.
Listening.
Essentially, your job
It's
is to
mostly rice.
encapsulate for the audience the experience of seeing the film or playing the
20 minutes
game.
less. I don't. That used to be true. I don't think that's really true anymore. I think like an hour would be fine. 40 minutes to an hour or something videos would be fine. I see those get a lot of views nowadays.
Within your title sequence. So how do you go about that? How do you go about capturing the flavor of those entertainments?
I have a history in print.
Like YouTube
design.
seems to push, like it wants to push like podcasts and long form stuff. It pushes a bunch of that stuff. At least I see it a lot, and a lot of it has good views.
And I like to think of it like a poster, you know.
Right.
Like, so you kind of encapsulate it as a still image, and then it becomes a three-dimensional sequence. It grows out from there.
Heavily
It's
edited
just
would be
the
cool.
whole
Well, yeah, definitely. Right. I
trajectory,
want to maximize.
Snake moving through the.
I'd want to maximize entertainment value, right? Make it very high per whatever of entertainment. Yeah, definitely. Sure. If I want to make edited videos, I would like to do
Jumping
that.
out of the.
And I could do it myself, right? But it's going to take a lot. I'm going to have to take a lot of time off the stream to be able to do that.
Plane. It's all, you know, you have to look at what the content.
So ideally, I gotta hire somebody or find somebody that wants the revenue split. We're so close, man. Now would be a great time to jump on this offer if anybody's a video editor. 100% revenue split. We're this close to being monetized, bro. Now we won't have the ad revenue until 1,000 though.
Content that's provided, and somehow I make something.
So
that's born
we're
out of
actually not that close.
content or that brief that I've been given.
So
Maybe when I get to like 900, somebody will be like, "I'll edit for you," because then they could just make money immediately, pretty much, right?
when they brought you in and
I just need to wait
presented you
longer.
with this song, how was it teed up and how
The reason I'm willing to give 100% though is because, because I really like the streaming more than I like anything else. So, I feel like if you're willing to put in the work to edit the video down, you can make all the money from it.
how did you discover the essence of that song?
I got no information whatsoever.
Really?
I just heard just a piano version of Snake Eater, and then I sat at the piano and I hunt and peck on the piano. So I sat and I, you know, hit the notes and all
Hunt and
that.
peck, that's no
and I
good.
just sang it, and it didn't happen to
She means she can't play piano, huh?
really come
You
to
spin
life
hot takes,
for me
editor
until
sauce
that
it up,
final
everyone
version.
wins. Yeah, I think
and once
so,
I walked
huh?
in and heard
I think that'd be
that
nice, yeah.
orchestra, and I sat on a sofa.
That's my plan. We just got to get close enough to monetization that somebody would actually be interested. Because right now, right, it's like, okay, you can get 100% of monetization, but then I go, when I get monetized, right? And then people are like, so who knows when? Like, you know what I mean? But if I actually have monetization, or I'm about to, then that offers a lot more intriguing.
And I felt something in me that said, this is how
Right now,
should
it's kind of
start
a hard
being
sell.
just a little softer.
I mean, it's very much
and
a
then
hard sell right
building it
now.
up to the end, you know, which it also fits with my favorite part of the song inside the game is our ladder scene,
Yeah. Endless ladder.
the endless ladder. It fits so perfectly to just start it from the beginning of that ladder, and then by the time he gets to the end, you know, to the top of the ladder, it's just full blown.
It is cool when games have design like that, but you know that's Kojima, right? That everybody calls a fraud that came up with this, right? The ladder scene with the song going louder. You know Kojima came up with that, and they're gonna act like the guy's not even here, bro. The guy Kojima, the guy that made up this thing that she likes so much, isn't even here. That whole delivery, it was definitely Kojima of climb the ladder, have the song slowly get louder as you climb it. Kojima came up with that almost certainly. Right? Like, that's his kind of stuff. Game design. Why do they call it... What I don't fucking get is, why do people call Kojima, like, a fraud or, like, a hack and all this kind of stuff? I don't... If you don't like him, fine. You don't like his style, fine. But a hack? That's way... I think that's out of line. I think people just do it at this point to, like, hate on him. He's not that bad. In fact, he's a genius, probably. Probably. Probably, yeah. But that's kind of his weakness too, though, is that he's a genius, I think. Like, because it makes it so he has this issue with storytelling a little bit, where like it all makes sense to him, but then like when he needs to put it to paper and explain it to you, it doesn't all necessarily make. He has to fill. He doesn't know what you're missing to understand what he understands. And so it reaches a point where the staff's probably like, bro, we don't really get it. And then he has to write a giant exposition chapter about, you know, like what happened and try and fill you in on it. And then there's just a dump of exposition. And then that kind of hurts the flow, but it's kind of like a mad scientist villain at the end of the game giving away his thing. It's not bad either, really. I don't totally like it, though. But I think Kojima's probably a genius, bro. I think he's really good, but I see why people have see flaws in him, but a hack, a fake, no.
Every day
I can see
wake
disliking
up
him.
to your song.
You do?
But that's a matter of
I
style.
don't- I don't
Directing? What was the question to? What's
I don't know,
directing
like
to?
last 1 or 2 years.
Uh-huh.
Every day I listen to your song.
Oh, thank you, Ruby. Can I show you guys something?
Oh, yes, please.
Sure.
I know we've been sitting here for a couple.
Kojima, in his genius, was terrible with English translations and not allowed his voice actors to shine. When was that he did that? In English translation, he's not in charge of that, right? Somebody else is.
Couple of hours, but I just wanted to show you.
Oh, yes, girl.
You haven't seen them?
Ooh,
Nice.
girl, those are great.
Snake Eater.
I'm going to need a
Oh,
pair of those.
love
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you a pair made.
Thank you.
I want some too.
Okay, I'm
those
gonna
are
make.
fantastic.
The end. Passion fruit, raspberry, and citrus fruit shot. Palate cleanser, digestive. Vegan friendly. Voice of Snake said he oversees it all. Well, yeah, I don't know how much I trust this Voice of Snake sellout here in front of me right now. But like Voice of Snake, bro, this guy is selling me some scam vegan meal right now. He doesn't have the highest credibility with me right now. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a secondary source like that can confirm or deny that? Because if he didn't like his scenes, it would make total sense that he might have blamed Kojima for it or something. I'd have to see the quote too. I don't know what the actual statements are. But I don't see how he can be responsible for the translation. Unless he literally did go, no, not like that, do it like this, to something, and that thing was crappy. I'd have to see proof of that though. Like something
This
really
is
telling me that happened.
A palate cleanser. By the end, you guys had quite a bit of food.
Or how it worked or
I
what.
have raspberry and also passion fruit, fresh tangerine juice.
Oh,
It's a very nice finish. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Secondary other voice actors in the game confirmed. Yeah, but I don't really know what you're saying to me though, Joshy. I don't really know what you're saying. You're saying he's in charge of translation, but that like oversees it. But what does that mean if he's not really translating it? He looks over it and or do you like? I don't really know what you're describing. Is what I'm saying, or what the claims are. Just oversees it all isn't really. It's too vague. What are the actual claims? Is what I'm kind of asking.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
All right. So
Let's
everyone
cheers
take
to
their
Delta.
Oversees it all could be anything.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Ruby.
Oh my goodness.
Take the middle one because I'm Snake.
So before we do our toast, can I do something? One
Like,
thing?
is there any specifics? Like when we're doing this, he did this or something like that. Like,
Before we go?
so I can really understand what
a
he's doing.
thrill with darkness and silence through the night.
You were saying Kojima was in charge of the music Louder Steg Ascends, which I preferred as good directing. Oh yeah, sure. Game directing? I think it's game design. I think it's game design. I think I disagree with this directing. Because it's not a movie. A movie... The problem is directing who? The player? You know what I'm saying? There's not really actors. The player is engaging in the game. I don't think directing fits. I don't know. I know a game director exists as a term, but who's he directing?
What
The actual staff to make the game, yeah. But in that scene, it's just a game design choice. Like, what's his name? Yuji Horii has it so in Dragon Quest, every time you die, the priest talks a little bit slower. Is that game design or game direction? Or is that direction?
a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into
This is not proper English
you.
translation of the game. He wanted to be
What?
exact Japanese translation word for. That's not possible, Joshy. There's no way you wanted that. That doesn't exist, man. There's no word for word translation. Doesn't function Japanese to English. It's impossible.
Fear in my
I don't know, man.
heart, but you're so supreme. Oh,
That's something that bothers me about a lot of the conversations about translation is people say literal translation. Literal translation has not been used since Bible translation. I don't think there's never been an era where you used word for word translation for Japanese to English. I don't think that's ever existed because it wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't. Grammatically, it'd be gibberish. Word wise, it'd be gibberish. It's not possible. It's not a possible thing. The visual sequence and nothing else, he's borrowing film techniques. But it's not a visual sequence when you climb up the ladder, is what I'm saying. It's not a visual sequence. That's right, it's part of the game. It's when you climb, you could stop climbing, right? And then climb again. So it's not game sequence. A bit of both. I mean a visual sequence. If it was a visual sequence, I'd agree. I would agree. Yeah.
okay, that's
Yes.
Cheers to it.
beautiful.
Thank you.
But anyways, what was the second one? Hold on. There's a name for the other. Okay, so you have word for word translation, which is literal translation. And again, when people talk about literal translation, they're mostly talking about like the Bible, because that's like one of the only things that can be literally translated. Or you have to have you have to have languages close enough, right? But most people use not word for word, but sense for sense, which is like idea for idea. See, the oldest norm for translation is sense for sense, which means you take the whole sentence and you try and turn it into, and you try to recapture the same idea. It's also called paraphrasing, right? But this is what people do. They've always done sense for sense translation when it comes to Japanese to English. There's no such thing as word to word. It's not possible. It's not doable. So I don't know what he was asking for, but I find it hard to believe he's asking for something that's impossible to do.
Delta.
To Delta.
Cheers.
To our amazing community
To Delta.
Cheersing with everyone.
of fans, friends, artists, creators.
Yeah.
Nami, thank you so much.
All right, here's to you all.
Here's to you all.
What are you drinking now?
Wonderful.
For those of you who couldn't join us for such a spectacular meal, I'm sorry about that.
Well, only
but
there's
I
a
hope
video that
you'll all
explained
join
it.
us for Metal Gear
Explain
Delta.
which thing. I mean, it is game design, but it's something a person directing the game would want. Yeah, I agree, but yeah, I mean, I guess director is not too bad, but it's a weird term because it overlaps with like a film director, which is a different role significantly.
So, thank you.
I mean, I don't really have a hard
you're pretty
disagreement
good.
on you on that. That's the link. It doesn't let me see it, Josh. Hold on, I'll make you a mod so you can.
I'm David Hayter, the voice of Naked Snake
There you go.
in Metal
Paste
Gear
again,
Delta.
and you should be able to.
And if you buy physical, the tactical edition of the game comes with the white tuxedo uniform as an early purchase bonus. Of course, the game is also available digitally. So
YouTube
if you're as
doesn't
eager
let
for
regular
Delta
people
as we
post
all
links.
are, don't miss the chance to jump in early.
Why? I don't know. YouTube's dumb, that's why. YouTube's dumb, that is why. Kanye West and the Daily Wire. It is. Yeah. Only that it don't start Koji. What video is he talking about? Koji, what video are you talking about? What do you mean? What video are you talking about? But I mean, the word for word literal translation thing is a kind of a peeve of mine a little bit. Because you see people talking about it all the time when they're talking about localization versus translation, as if that's how it works, as if translation is word for word generally, and then, you know, localization is something different. It's not, most people's understanding of localization versus translation is gibberish. It's like something someone can believe, only can believe because they don't translate. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people's view of how translation works is nonsensical. It's nonsensical. People think there's a comparison between literal translation and localization. Not true. That's not how it works. In my job, right, when I'm translating stuff, I'm not doing word for word translation. Even in the closest you come is like technical documents, right? Like really technical documents where you need all the terms pretty much the same, or describing, you know, like that's the closest you get. And even that's not word for word because you still have to move stuff around and break sentences, and because Japanese, like, technical documents will be like one sentence will be a whole paragraph, you know. So, no problem. There's a video about Kojima and voice actors in the recommended the video. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, why Hideo Kojima burned his voice actors? I see. Is it the same video or is it a different video? It's the same video. It's am I related to?
Hideo Kojima is more than a bit obsessed with cinema. Everybody knows that. Humorously, he describes himself online as being made 70% of movies, and it seems that nothing transforms him from the legendary director to a grinning fan.
Here's the thing, though. I always distrust any information when it's just in a YouTube video and I can't just read it somewhere, you know? I always, it always hurts its thing. Like, I always think, like, if it's really credible, why can't I just read it somewhere?
Fanboy faster than a
I'd have to
chance
watch
of a
a video.
selfie with a Hollywood star.
I always distrust when I have to watch a video.
Now, from a
Because I'm like, bro, why can't I just read the thing? Why can't I just read it? Why can't I just read the Japanese, like, thing or whatever thing?
From his perspective, his obsession with Hollywood is actually a very good thing because it ushered in a new age of cinematic gameplay. And while he might have dreamed of one day tapping into Hollywood's top talent, for many years the only resource available to him was whatever he could duplicate from the movies he watched, having passionately absorbed over 100 years of global filmmaking. cinematography, say, which meant painstakingly directing the camera at all times to create atmosphere during gameplay or to turn simple dialogue.
Maybe the voice actors understand. Yeah, I don't know. Localization is insane though. How would you localize that Mr. Enema joke in Tengai Makio 4? Well, see, here's my point too. It's not. I'm not agreeing with the dichotomy you're putting forward for me, so I can't answer the question.
Dialogue into captivating cinematic scenes. Hey! This simply wasn't done before Metal Gear Solid, but his
like to translate the joke, you have to figure out something. Right, you have to figure out a way to present it where you can try to make it a joke, right? That's translation, not necessarily localization. Localization would be if you change the joke to like a pop culture joke, like a totally different joke, but it didn't even like it was a culturally one that made sense for that culture. And it was local to that culture. That would be localization.
His obsession.
But if you just translate, if you just put a different joke that worked as close to it as you could, that'd be translation, not localization.
Directing the game like a movie meant that what might have started as an indulgence would actually pave the way for what became the industry standard. Cinematographers have been getting Oscars for almost 100 years,
I don't know.
So it's hardly a secret.
When you translate, there was a lot you have to explain to us. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But that's still a matter of translation style, not localization, is what I'm saying. That's still in the realm of translation. Localization isn't as drastically. What I'm putting forth is that localization isn't as far away from translation as people think, or its own unique thing that's like so totally different. Is all I'm saying. I do agree there's some jokes that are really hard to translate. Yeah, sure, definitely. But with the act that's happening is still translation.
Art. But it is an art, and as with all art, you either painstakingly do it yourself if you have the know-how, or you pay good money to get the movie industry to come in and do it for you. And eventually everything from cinematic scores from the likes of Hans Zimmer's Apprentice through to experts who established complex military realism.
Just watch that video right there, the fifth one down. It gets better. It's gotta be better. Is this the video you meant, or a different one?
Would all become commonplace in his production.
Are we watching the right video?
Because his all-encompassing obsession with the world of cinema meant that the scope of his knowledge was boundless, and therefore, much to Konami's frustration, from the very beginning his vision was only ever limited by budget. You just know when you're playing a Hideo Kojima game because his attention to detail is unmistakable, which basically...
Well, it's like an extra layer, I think. Localization is? Yeah, kind of, right? I get what you're saying, I think. Like an extra layer at the end to like tune it towards whatever locale. Yeah, okay. Sure.
Is the definition of auteur. In his earliest days, even when the budget was next to nothing,
it just bothers me. The reason I bring it up and harp on it so much is just that people talk about it a lot with that dichotomy of there's word for word literal translation and then there's localization, and that isn't true is all the point I'm trying to make here. That's not how it works. We already use sense for sense translation as the norm for translation to begin with, which the idea for sense translation is to reproduce the idea as wholly as you can in the next language, which is not the same concept as literal translation. Literal translation is something you would only do when it comes to Japanese to English to highlight like grammar or something, right? Like to give an illustration in a grammar book or something like that. That's the only time you would ever literally translate, right? Because then it kind of makes sense. You're like you're trying to explain grammar and word function and this kind of thing, then okay, it makes sense that it's gibberish because you're just trying to explain it. But that's the only time you do literal translation, Japanese to English, is like in a book, in a lesson book. And they like, I think that's part of why people say literal translation and think it is a thing like that, because it will say that in the book, right? In the grammar book, it'll say there's the little translation here. But if you look at the little translation, it's gibberish. Like, it's like, this is a whatever particle, this is the thing. Like, it makes no sense in English. It's not an
Never
English sentence.
compromised on cinematic fidelity. He proved enough of a film connoisseur that amazingly he managed to achieve his vision almost entirely in-house. Either himself...
Lamented, then Koji lamented. Dingus pointed out the video, and then Koji lamented in the dark. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't notice. I'm sorry.
Or by overseeing
I'm sorry,
an
bro. I
elite
didn't
team
know
of incredible artists. But he branded himself as the face of the production, just like a film director, from the very beginning. And Konami, no doubt...
Yeah, but I mean, lots of people were doing it at that point in time, right? In the age of Police Knots and Snatcher, lots of people were putting their name on the game as like a director. He wasn't... That wasn't stand out for that.
Encouraged this because they
right?
went on to wield his name as a power...
Yes, I know later on, like Metal Gear Solid 2, you could point out that it's a little pretentious at that point, maybe. But lots of people were doing it in the old PC days. You knew a lot of like the head developer guys. A lot of them put their name on it somewhere. Or named a main character after them or something, like Lord British.
Powerful marketing tool. Of course, the pomp of Hollywood styling suited him down to the ground, but the continued years of this style of
a Wheelwright game, yeah. Who is the Civ guy? Sid Meier's?
Self-promotion ensured that Kojima became and remained the
sure there's
sole
an S
face
or
of the
not.
production, earning pop culture kudos for virtually every aspect of
Didn't work out for John Romero, sure.
the game. He may well have been the glue that held the ship together and the rudder that gave it direction.
Well, that's a good example, yeah, the Civ guy.
But the ship did consist of many talented people, most of whom you probably never heard of. But there was, of course, one area of the production that would prove...
Fucking Suda51, that motherfucker puts his game on everything. Come on. How come Kojima's getting such a hard time for that when Suda51 exists? That motherfucker could not be more hype on his own name than anyone I've ever seen. Suda51. That motherfucker loves his name. Suda51? Who? You never heard of Suda51? That motherfucker loves his name. He puts it all over all his games.
Impossible for Kojima to recreate himself, as he neither...
He even worked on a Kojima property. He worked on Stature, I think it was, with a D. Snatcher with a D or something, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Stature? There was also... Bro, we also have to play Snatcher SD. That'd be cool. Stature, I think it was called. Yeah. This one. Stature. It was a radio drama that he wrote, I guess. Yeah, written by Suda51. That'd be cool. I want to listen to this at some point. That'd be cool. Stature. And then there's Snatcher SD too. Also.
Spoke English, nor had access...
No idea what a Suda51 is? He made No More Heroes. Oh, you seen remember those Twilight, what are they called? Whatever, Eclipse Syndrome, Twilight Syndrome games? He worked on those too. But he only takes credit for being the director of one of the later ones. But he worked on the one we played. The ones with the little with the girls at school. He worked on that game. What else did he work on? This is the Suda51 wiki here. He started on that, like, some detective game was his first game. Moonlight Syndrome. Yeah, he wrote Moonlight Syndrome. Killer 7. Here they go. He started working on Super Fire Pro Wrestling. I didn't know that. Moonlight Syndrome. So, yeah, hold on. Twilight Syndrome. He worked on both of those. He doesn't really take credit for those. Moonlight Syndrome, Silver Case, Flower Sun Rain, Killer 7, Michigan Report from Hell. Never played that one. 25th Ward, The Silver Case. That's like a sequel. Samurai Champloo, Contact, Blood Plus, No More Heroes, No More Heroes 2. One of the Fatal Frames. Flower Sun. I guess this is like a remake of the other one. Is an adventure game. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it looks like it's a different version. The original was on PlayStation 2. Right, okay. PlayStation 2. Oops, went back too far back. Hmm? Okay, shit, No More Heroes 2. I don't know these games. Stature is the thing. Lollipop Chainsaw. No More Heroes. World Ranker. Black Knight Sword. No idea. Killer is Dead. Heard of that one. Haven't played it though. No More Heroes 3. Anyways, he worked on a bunch of stuff, bro. But the Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes. This guy loves his fucking name. He does similar though, where he's very much inspired by movies and things.
Says to American actors, and so this element was entirely
Super Fire Pro Wrestling 3 special. Oh, he's got a whole wiki. Yeah, he's kind of a big deal. But I understand. I understand if you don't know about him. I think most people know him from No More Heroes. I think that's most people's like big one. Killer 7 maybe. I don't know. No More Heroes and Killer 7. No More Heroes probably the one most people know.
entirely outsourced by Konami.
What's up, Nathan?
What are you trying to say?
My simp key is up over $2. Nice. You have a simp key?
I want to ask you, do you think love can bloom even on a battlefield?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do. I think at any time.
Was Let It Die in that list? Yeah, it was. Yeah. One. Didn't we see Let It Die? Yeah, it's here. Let It Die. Well, you seen that game? Yeah, Let It Die is on them too.
Any place, people can fall in love with each other.
But it's by Grasshopper? Yeah, Grasshopper is Suda51 Studio. Yeah. Okay, I totally know this guy. Oh, you do know him. Okay. Yeah, he has worked on a lot of stuff.
But
I want to play Silver Case. Silver Case is the one I want to play a lot. But you would guess that if you knew what the Silver Case looked like and you know my type of games. You could tell which ones I want to play on here the most, probably. Right? It's the Twilight Syndrome ones, right? It's these early ones. Moonlight Syndrome, it's all these early ones. Flower Sun I'd play too. So it's really it's all these early ones right here is the ones I want to play. I would play these now that I know he made them though. Samurai Champloo and the Blood Plus one. I would play those too. I should probably maybe try No More Heroes. I don't know. It didn't really look like for me though.
if you love someone, you
I
have
loved
to be
it. It
able
was a
to
crazy
protect
game.
them.
Yeah, they're all crazy.
I think so too. I have a favor to ask.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, it'll be easy.
I told you before I don't want to hurt anyone.
I don't want you to either.
Okay.
And yet, despite being completely outside of his control, to Kojima's good fortune, the small team of relatively unknown talent at the time did him so proud. And one person in particular would go on to achieve.
Wait a second. That's the Big Boss Lady? So what is this video from if the Big Boss Lady's there? Or wait, I'm confused. Yeah, right? This was the Big Boss Lady. We learned that from the video we were watching, the food video, right? That's her. So what is this video? If it has to be after Metal Gear Solid 3. Because they're acting like, this guy's talking like this is the voice actors from the first game, right? But that lady's from 3.
Even almost equal cult status at the time. Not by choice, it would seem either, but rather just due to the merit of his performance.
Oh, whoa, that's the David Hayter guy. Yeah, we've never seen him before.
And how he conducted himself with fans thereafter. I am, of course, talking about David Hayter. And while there are documented cases of animosity between Kojima and ex-members of his team, some of whom have taken shots at him over the years and mostly been rebutted by fans for being bitter over the dismissal, this simply does not fly with Hayter. He famously plays and loves the games, attends the festivals, and has tirelessly serviced the fans.
Is it too late for suggestions? No. It's totally open. Busan Zero Wizardry. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I'll put that up. No, it's all night. All night you're free to suggest things. I'm putting that one right in there because I would like to play that. Is that the first one or the second one? The first one is the one we would play first. There's a sequel. I don't know if you know about it. I'm sure you do. Neo Busan Zero or something, right? It's a sequel. Sequel to the made PS2. So, oh yeah, that is the one you're suggesting. Yeah, we'll have to try the first one first though, because I'd have to play through the first one first, but I would play the second one after. But without the first one, I feel like I'd be missing a lot. It's an Atlas Wizardry. Yeah, it looks really sick. I've wanted to play it for a long time. Yeah. Yes. Second one, but it's a prequel. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Oh, okay. Huh. I guess maybe we could start on the second one then. Oh, I guess we could then. I didn't know it was a prequel. Okay. We'll look at a trailer for it specifically then in a minute. Okay, sure. Huh. What was the original called then? It's Busan. That's Zero. It's just Busan Wizardry Alternative instead of Zero, or with Neo on it. I don't know.
Fan base over the years.
Kept you waiting, huh?
But most importantly, he requested half his paycheck be slashed on the remake of MGS, The Twin Snakes, in order that the original cast be invited back to re-record their audio.
I just got such great respect for, especially David. He's just number one.
Okay, so we're building up that David Hayter, the other people like him. Okay, why are we doing that though? What is the case we're making?
But number two, just a good man.
It would have been nothing without the original cast. How could they...
It seems like, I don't want to paint anything yet, but it seems like he's trying to establish credibility for David Hayter for some reason at this point, doesn't it? Why is he doing that?
They even have considered that. Dedication to his colleagues, or the franchise, who knows? But no one has ever questioned his loyalty to the series.
Right, so you're saying if he had any critiques, they obviously would be legitimate. Okay.
Nor his significance in its success. My point here is, this is one member of the Metal Gear team who you can trust when he speaks.
Yeah, no, I get the point you're making. Yes, you're trying to make us trust him completely. I understand.
And like any professional, he's always remained respectful when asked on his thoughts about Kojima and indeed how and why he was replaced by Sutherland as Venom Snake. For context, misinformed fans will often argue that Venom was a
misinformed fans, okay.
different character and so warranted a different voice. This simply isn't true for a number of reasons, but the most obvious being that the Japanese actor Akio Otsuka played all the snakes throughout the series and was never replaced. Add to this the fact that Sutherland actually voices Big Boss himself.
I'm in front of the prison.
Well, the fact that the Japanese one had the same voice actor for everything, and in America, in the English one, somebody didn't, doesn't necessarily establish that there's no reason whatsoever creatively to, in English, pick a different person. You're not really making a good argument on this, bro.
We gave her a life.
It's not the worst argument, though, but it's not really that strong, is it?
Way down.
As opposed to using Hater for a couple of lines. And lastly, if you can make this guy look like this guy and create nanoviruses that
activate upon a specific language, vibrating the vocal cords to a specific amount,
then you're in a freaking world where we can make a person sound different too. There are arguments and counter-arguments and counter-arguments,
exactly.
and it all just gets so exhausting.
There's arguments and counter-arguments, yet the people you disagree with are misinformed. I don't like that.
Exhausting, because the most devoted Kojima fans will go to any length to defend his honor.
The misinformed Kojima fans, right? The misinformed ones. The ones that are wrong, you already said.
But suffice it to say, even the highly respected and long-time casting director for the
entire Tales of the Forsaken Land was the American release. Right. Yeah. In Japanese, the name still has Busan in it in the first one. I don't remember what it is. Busan. It doesn't have the Neo, I think. It's like Busan Wizardry Alternative, Neo, or maybe it does have the Neo. I don't know. I just know it's a similar name. It was just the English name they changed to get rid of it. David Hayter, cool. Kojima sucks. So I had that one. It was fun. Japanese voice actors do have incredible range. That's true too. There's a lot more to think about than just that. I played quite a few Wizardry games. One of the best. Orcs are very funny. Nice. We played. I haven't got that into any Wizardry game. I've tried to play that, and I've tried to play. We played the Kyoyaku Megaten, right? That's kind of similar. And we played that, and we played. There was some Gate one, right? Something Gate. It was cool. And then I've tried to on my own play Generation X with an X. It's like a PS2 game by some kind of like indie studio called like Microsoft. And they went on to make, they made a sequel to it, and then they went on to make like 3 games that are like inspired by it, but they're different. They're like in future Japan. I want to play those also. They dropped the Wizardry name though. It's like Zith something. It's like with an X. There's like 3 of them on PC.
Entire series, Chris Zimmerman disapproved of Kojima's choice.
And how they work is like every character you like assign them like a soul, an avatar, and that kind of defines part of how their powers work and stuff. And then of course you got regular classes and all that too.
Was to push David out, as explained on the brilliant interview between the original MGS voice team and Game Informer. She played a pivotal role in harnessing the original voice actors to the Western audiences, and so I take her word over anybody else's.
Okay. Let's go back again. We have to know why we're supposed to trust this lady explicitly.
But suffice it to say, even the highly respected and long-time casting director,
long-term casting director, got it,
for the entire series.
For the entire series, understood.
Chris Zimmerman disapproved.
Chris Zimmerman?
Of Kojima's choice to push David out, as explained on the brilliant interview between the original.
Chris Zimmerman? Isn't that the music score guy, or is that somebody else? What's that guy's name? The music score guy, something Zimmerman that does all the is that the same guy? Yeah, or a different guy? What's up, Recast? What's up, Cliff? What are you up to, man? We're trying to figure out what game to play next. Is that the same guy or is it a different guy? Anybody know what I'm talking about? The music guy? What's his name? Like he does it like the hold on. Batman Begins soundtrack. Hans Zimmer. That's what I was thinking. Sorry.
Original MGS voice team and game.
Hans Zimmer. Yeah, thank you, Koji. Thank you. Yeah. I always want to say Shadowgate, but that's not right. Oh, the Gate game. It's something like that, right? Hold on. I think I have it on my RetroArch, or not RetroArch. What's the Launchbox? My Launchbox library, I think. Yeah. It's in here. Yeah. Boundary Gate. It's Boundary Gate, Daughter of Kingdom. There it is. Boundary Gate, Daughter of Kingdom. If anybody needs this, I can link you. Hold on. If you need my game database thing. There you go. Boundary Gate just came to me. No? Oh, I was right. Yeah, you're right. Boundary Gate, Daughter of Kingdom. Yeah. I want to play these Black Matrix ones at some point too. These are made by Flight Plan, who makes Summon Night or something. Arc the Lad, I want to play those. I want to play a lot of these. This one here, Will the Starship, is like you're like sitting in the captain chair of a starship, and you like commanding them around and stuff, kind of mixed with like a JRPG. It's pretty cool. A lot of these are cool. I don't mean to just show a bunch of random games we're not going to play though, but a lot of these are cool. The remake of God, the original was on SNES. Yeah, Dragon Quest 4. Did we play the PlayStation version of this? I think we did. You got Land Greaser. You got this game. Gun Parade March is pretty cool. It's like a simulation game. Too bad it doesn't have screenshots here. It's a I think we can do this. It does. You go here. It does. Yeah. Kinda. Yeah. It's like that Eva game we played. It's made by the same company. They made that Evangelion game where it simulates the whole thing, but instead you're like, the Japan, I guess the world gets attacked by like demons or monsters or something, and you are part of some school that's drafted to fight them, is what it is.
She played a pivotal role in harnessing the original
anyway,
voice
lots of cool
actors to the
games.
Western audiences, and so I take her word over anybody else's.
Okay. Because she worked there? Like, why are we taking her word? Because she worked there for a long time? Okay.
But it must have been a little bit heartbreaking for you, having worked with David Hayter for all those years, to get the news that you're not going to be using him this time around.
It was very difficult, yes. It was very difficult. It was sad.
Fans have always speculated over whether Kojima didn't like Hayter because he stole the limelight, or whether he'd just been so desperate to rub shoulders with Hollywood royalty that offering his coveted role of Snake seemed to be the best way to do this. Or indeed, both. Well, now...
Right, but these are totally baseless accusations that we're just throwing in here, right? Totally baseless accusations we're just throwing in there. Okay.
Kojima is no longer associated with Konami, and shelve your dislike for Konami for just a minute because this has nothing to do with them. But since then, Hayter and indeed the rest of the team have interestingly started to be a little bit more candid in their recounting of working with him.
Well, it's horrible because I felt like I'd given a lot to the series and I'd really helped.
What do you think about Death Stranding 2? I haven't played it yet. Have you played it? I never beat the first one. I'm thinking about playing the first one. I haven't played either one. I haven't played 1 or 2. I started 1 and I got to where you're taking the body or whatever, and then I was like, this is kind of weird, and I never really played it. But I meant to take another shot at it. Hire me to judge, IGN and co all fanboy in the game at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I saw somebody playing it a little bit, but I didn't really watch enough to have an opinion on it. First one is a chore. Yeah, I could see that. You can make characters or recruit them. It's got team battle tactics, shippable fights, trap mini games, endless dungeon end game, and a decent story for a dungeon crawl. It's challenging but not dumb. We're talking Wizardry Boosin'. Yeah. Wizardry Boosin's here. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it looks good, and the art style. I mean, Atlas Wizardry is all you need to get me to consider it, man. I'm with you. It's an Atlas Wizardry, right? Like it's got the one artist doing it. It's very nice. It looks really good. Yeah, it's my style of fantasy, like dark fantasy like that. I love that stuff. Really good looking game. Boosin' Wizardry, definitely.
Helped promote it.
Both of them are.
Been a cheerleader for the whole thing. You know, people are like, "Are you going to play the game?" And I'm like,
it has crafting, which I ignored too. The crafting was a little silly. I see.
Yeah, that'd be a 60 hours of humiliation that I can't wait to get
Wait, hold
to.
on, let's see what he's saying.
And I'd really helped promote it and been a cheerleader for the whole thing. You know, people are like, "Are you going to play the game?" And I'm like, yeah, that'd be a 60 hours of humiliation that I can't wait to get to.
So when did he get replaced that he's mad about, that we're talking about? Because all that we're really talking about is that he was replaced as Snake for a game, right? That's all we're really talking about. Which game are we talking about? What game was David Hayter replaced in?
So I didn't play latest 2 iterations because it's just too painful. You know, I don't have any ill will towards Kiefer Sutherland or anything like that. The whole thing could have been handled better and a little more respectfully, but I'm not going to cry about it. They made me re-audition for Metal Gear 3 to play Naked Snake. They made me re-audition to play Old Snake, you know, and the
So he's mad about having to re-audition? Sure.
whole time they were trying to find somebody else to do it. I heard that Kojima, he asked one of the producers on Metal Gear 3 to ask Kurt Russell if he would take over for that game, but he didn't want to do it.
I wasn't interested in expanding.
So basically, what it seems like from my perspective is Kojima might have never, I guess he might never have been really happy with Hayter, huh? Interesting. That's what it seems like. If he was doing that every game, then it seems like he was never really happy with Hayter then. I mean, I guess you could say that he was just trying to get friends with movie stars or whatever the base of his accusation is. There was no, he's not going to back that up in any way. But anyway, it seems like he was never happy with him then if he kept saying, well, let's have him re-audition, let's talk to some other people.
Financially, off of something that we had created or that I had created
awesome,
in terms of a character.
Very good
and I
looking.
look at it and he goes, that's not written by John.
Like, I need a ton of frog tongues or something. Like, he wanted an action guy. That's what it could be, right? Look at Police Notes. Imagine Kojima had the pull to get Mel Gibson. Yeah, right? He definitely would have got Mel Gibson. Maybe Hayter he just was never happy with, is what it seems like. Now, is that fair to Hayter, who worked so hard on the role? You can make a case that's kind of fucked up or something, sure. But at the moment from this video, that's my impression, is that Kojima wasn't happy with Hader as Snake. It wasn't who he had in mind exactly.
That doesn't smell right.
Kiefer Sutherland.
But I mean, how many movie directors have done that in the course of time? Have been like they settled on some actor and they wanted somebody else, or they had a vibe for somebody else. Does that really make him like what does that even really mean?
He was very professional. He did a really good job. And I do know that
Well, it's not like they didn't pay the guy or like ripped him off somehow.
Kojima had always wanted to have a Hollywood star part of the process.
He always wanted somebody else.
I'm sure it's fun for him. I mean, he's such a Hollywood fan, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it just his love of Hollywood where he's always wanted to work with this A-list talent, or what's promoting that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know Kojima at all, really.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I never felt like he was a particularly big fan of mine. I don't think he
okay, yeah. That sounds right,
liked
yeah.
the fact that I got a lot of attention for the role when he was meant to be.
I beat it with 3 characters. I named them after Rush band members. Got a level 50. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll name people after chat. We'll figure out some way to do that when we play that. Any of those wizardry or what do they call them, blobbers? Any of those like 3D dungeon games? We'll name people after chat if we can, if it gives us the option. A lot. I mean, looking at Kojima's trailer itself, he does feel himself come across as a guy who thinks he knows better. That's true. Than even the people who make the game. He does seem like he might feel like he knows better. That's definitely possible. I don't know if I want to put that much ego on it, but he definitely does have that vibe of like. But here's my issue with that. Sometimes people have that vibe, but it's like they just have their creative like vision and they want to reach that, right? Like it's not necessarily that they know better. Sometimes it's that, you know, they have this vision and that's what they want to get to, and they feel like anything less than that isn't there, you know? Like Kojima's definitely like that. How much of it is ego? I don't know. A lot of them, if the things told are true, sure. Like if you make great games, it can be shown in a trailer. No need to make it confusing or not showing the product properly. He instead thinks I know better than the devs. Yeah, but he's not a dev. He's not a dev.
Be the rock star of the whole thing, but that's just conjecture.
Do you think there's any chance you'd ever want to work with him again? I feel like you two are so connected to the outside world. Do you feel any connection to him on the inside world between you two?
No, I was kind of hoping that Konami would bring me back now that he was gone. No, I think he handled it pretty badly, and I've got no particular love for Kojima. I respect him, and I think he's a brilliant game maker.
Now this is a little weird though. Without Kojima, you wouldn't have had the opportunity though, right? Like on the other hand, like I know we're supposed to just take David Hayter's voice as, I mean, we're just supposed to do David Hayter's side, but without Kojima, you would have had the opportunity to be Snake, right? So, it's not like you own Snake. He made Snake.
I don't know him as a person, and as a businessman, I was not impressed. So no, I don't feel any need to go back and work with him again.
Any bitterness aside, I think the main takeaway here is that there is a clear disconnect between the development, which is entirely a Japanese production, and the Western audiences, and the production teams that...
Well, that's always true. The Japanese teams don't really care about the Western side, because why would they?
Facilitate that.
So all we were doing was matching with English language what the Japanese had done already.
For characters like Mei Ling and then Naomi who come back in 4, the choice to like change the accent was coming from Japan?
Yes.
And no insight as to why that would be?
No.
I just wanted to let you know that. No, that's not the whole truth. Not many people could recognize 4D sound data in a Soliton radar file.
Does that kind of inconsistency bother you, or you?
No, it did bother me.
Well, why was it done though?
Because they were characters that existed before, and they just, I don't really know why they decided to do that. That very end scene where Otacon romantically mounts the snowmobile. We kept...
Yeah, in Busan Zero, you can recruit people with stories and steal their stuff to give to characters you made. Yeah. It's like a Steve Jobs thing. You're the manager and refine the product to your vision. Right. Have you covered David Jaffe in God of War? No, I haven't covered that.
Telling them,
Should I cover that?
you know, Americans, it would be like pals. So can we like macho it up a little bit? And they're like, no, it has to be like the Japanese version.
Want me to drive?
No thanks. I'd rather do it myself.
No problem.
So that's why Otacon and Snake are riding off into the sunset if Meryl dies.
There was scene.
What, they think that shouldn't have been? They wanted to edit that? They wanted to edit that scene in the American version? That's wild. This lady is acting like they have a right to edit the game like that in the first place. That's kind of wild. Maybe I'm backwards, but that seems offensive to me. That the people in the Western studio thinks they should change this? Because, what do they think, it looks gay?
Seemingly a brick wall between the Metal Gear leadership in Japan and the Western voice team in.
Well, yeah, I think you guys are getting the wrong idea of what your job is. Your job is to translate the work, not to edit the work into something else.
America. And as Kojima is demonstrably obsessed with overseeing every detail, it's understandable.
So this is where it comes in that he oversees every detail, him randomly saying that right there?
That some have surmised in the past that perhaps Konami tied his hands and he was simply unaware, but this theory has seemed increasingly less likely over the years as more members of the original team share their stories. The most infamous relates to somebody who Kojima...
There does not seem to be any proof in this that he oversees every detail. The only part I'm finding is that guy saying that one time.
Arguably owed a tremendous debt of gratitude to for making what pretty much everybody recognizes as necessary improvements. And yet...
We need the necessary improvements of the West to the Japanese game.
Kojima ensured that this man would never work at Konami again for taking the initiative. I'm talking about the tragic treatment of Jeremy Blaustein, which has gained an almost cult notoriety.
Hater was great, but he's woke without gaining any benefit from it. He is woke, he's communist. Kojima's woke, but it kind of works for him. Yeah, but I don't know if Kojima really knows about the underlying, like being woke in Japan versus woke in America. You know, it's not the same thing. You don't have the overarching connective tissue in Japan. It's not as crazy as this story, but yeah, he isn't happy they changed his game to over-the-shoulder gameplay. I'll have to check that out. That was the whole charm of the first game. Yeah? Which thing was... the first Metal Gear Solid was the best. I agree too. Yeah.
Notoriety in the industry. An ex-English teacher in Japan who found himself shuffling papers in Konami's international business department.
The most gaijin fake job you can get.
He would take on English translation tasks ad hoc, completing Vandal Heart and Castlevania Symphony of the Night on his own before returning home to the snowy hills of western Massachusetts with his wife, two small children.
Let's quickly translate those games though. Which games? Silent of the Hill, Vandal Hearts too? I don't know anything about those translations to say if they're good or bad.
He would take on English translation tasks ad hoc, completing Vandal Heart and Castlevania.
What's ad hoc mean? He's freelance? What does ad hoc mean?
Symphony of the Night on his own before returning home to the snowy hills of western Massachusetts with his wife, two small children, a wood stove.
I don't think that word works there.
And not much money.
You mean
Konami
freelance,
contracted
right?
him to translate a secretive and exciting new project, and with just 6 months and no advance payment and next to no guidance as something this colossal had never been undertaken before, he set to work on Kojima's immensely detailed and exciting new script. With no internet at the time, he lived and breathed military jargon through ex-Navy SEAL Richard Machinko's books, visits to the library, and countless war and spy movies. He threw his heart and soul into it, endeavoring to capture the spirit of Kojima's vision.
Right, that's good.
While designing unique dialogue.
Yeah, I know, completely different. That's why it works for Kojima. So woke isn't the right word. Yeah, sure, gotcha.
Infused with believable...
Riding off the snowmobile into the sunset. The quirky scenes of dialogue. Yeah, no, I agree, yeah.
Military jargon, suitable for Western audiences used to Michael Bay and Tom Clancy. The experience proved to be so intense and stressful that he turned to cigarettes and, ironically...
What? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Now, all of a sudden, we're like saying that the working on the translation made him smoke cigarettes. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, that's retarded.
Diazepam, which is what's
Oh, and the medicine too. That's all his choice. You can't. This translation job was so hard. You don't understand. I had to smoke. I had to start doing heroin. Okay, I couldn't get through it otherwise. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's his choice to do those things. You didn't have to turn to them. Retarded.
spawned the line.
You know a lot about science, but you don't know how good a cigarette tastes in the morning.
Okay, so now are we saying what he's actually saying is, in order to understand the dialogue better, he smoked cigarettes. Is that what we're saying? Instead of the way he put it?
To Michael
That's
Bay
cool,
and Tom
actually.
Clancy. The experience proved to be so intense and stressful that he turned to
That's cool,
cigarettes
actually.
and, ironically, diazepam.
Turn to cigarettes, blah blah blah. But if he smoked to understand it for the line, the translation, that'd be better.
Which is what spawned the line.
You know a lot about science, but you don't know how good a cigarette
So wait, he totally made that up?
tastes in the morning.
Never
And this
mind,
was
maybe.
far from his only edition, with a huge number of expositions being
Oh, great. So he just made stuff up? Okay, cool. That's what a translator is supposed to do.
localized to avoid the jarring dialogue that is inevitable when
Right. Well, great. So he just added things.
Japanese is translated directly, as well as things like Snake's earpiece, which was just called a wireless in Japanese, which he inventively changed to codec.
She designed your codec.
Having stumbled across the phrase in his research. Or when Campbell tells Snake to acquire locally, Blaustein coins the term OSP, or on-site procurement, which had me fooled for years as a kid, and clearly others too, as it's still used to this day. Kojima loved the way that it sounded so much that for the Metal Gear Solid Integral expansion, he wanted an option for players to play the Japanese audio with English subtitles and vice versa, but upon trying to align the subtitles with the audio, it became apparent just how many liberties Blaustein had taken.
Uh-oh. When he actually looked at it, he's like, wait a second.
Kojima was not impressed. And it cost
So I thought, see, this is what I'm saying. I was told a whole different thing than what the truth is. Right? I was told a whole different thing than what the truth is. Okay.
Blaustein his job, who has since cited Kojima's lack of appreciation for the needs of localization.
Yeah, he made up a bunch of stuff. And Kojima didn't like it when he actually saw it side by side. Yeah.
Due to his knowledge.
Now, we can say that he's a dickhead for that or whatever, but that's not what I was told. That's not all what I was told.
Being bilingual as the reason. Kojima locked down the translations from that point forward, with Blaustein pointing to recent lines of dialogue in The Phantom Pain as an example of what happens when Kojima refuses to give his English-speaking editors the autonomy to transpose his dialogue into terms that would realistically be spoken by Western characters.
Sure, you're putting in a lot here now.
I won't scatter your sorrow to the heart.
We know exactly what actually happened, right? He looked at the two side by side and he saw way more. The lines, like he said, the trouble was they didn't line up, which means he took way too many liberties. Okay. And we're supposed to pretend like we can't, like that didn't happen?
Let's see. Plant your roots in me.
Of course, there are players that find this sort of thing endearing, and probably a whole lot more that just don't care.
Oh, that. No preference.
Oh, yeah? Most of the girls here go for one or the other.
But for those who played this
what's bad about that one?
Series from the beginning, it was impossible not to notice the poetic delivery of surrealist dialogue that continued to creep in. Plenty of scenes were still awesome and totally engaging. The voice acting never ceased to be outstanding, and there were plenty of charming exchanges.
What just happened? Why are your messages deleted? My messages deleted. What happened? I don't know. Weird. You mean cocaine doesn't help in translation? It could help. Watch Rogue Warrior ending credits. It's okay. It's okay. I was just confused. I figured it must have been some kind of mistake. Because it didn't have any rhyme or reason to it either. If you don't know, Marchenko is pro wrestling version of Navy SEALs. Oh, okay.
Rich the overall experience.
Be gentle.
Of course. Oh, and taking a holistic view of the series is...
But guys, I was definitely told different than this. I was told that... I was told he oversees the whole project. There was no evidence supplied in this video that he oversees the whole project. It's just this guy says it one time as a sentence. And what actually happened with the translation was not that he wanted an overly literal translation. It was that when he looked at the two side by side, trying to line them up, he noticed how drastically different they were. Now you could say, how do we go from that and say he is nitpicking he wants it overly literal or something like this? All of that is just complete conjecture and made up stuff. Like, that's not from the details of what the information we have. That's just conjecture.
Clear that the budget and hardware constraints were what limited Metal Gear Solid to being a compact linear adventure that progressed from scene to scene like watching a good military thriller.
It would take at least 5 people to go over that limit.
Look out, Snake! The guys who stole my stealth prototypes are in there with you! Too late, Snake! Now die!
Danger.
It's no secret that, like Metal Gear 2, the title that came before it, he shamelessly patched together his favourite movies and characters from those movies to create a rich tapestry of tributes, which arguably allowed him to put his main focus on technical innovations like cinematic presentation and stealth gameplay. The handcrafted nature of the story meant that it funneled you through memorable set pieces with a carefully paced, evolving narrative that began with engaging macho banter.
That takes care of the...
And again, most of that is Kojima doing that.
Cremation.
And ended in philosophical arguments about what it meant to be a soldier with a license to kill if your government is morally corrupt.
Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you?
And all of it served as the perfect platform for Blaustein to infuse it with real-world technical jargon that meant no matter how surreal the story...
Yes, I get it. You liked his version so much that you're making the argument now that it added so much good to the story that it's fucked up for Kojima to get rid of it. But nonetheless, the actual argument here is down to personal preference.
Story started to get, the experience always felt like it was grounded in realism. When it comes to Ground Zeroes, it was actually only supposed to be the opening chapter of The Phantom Pain, but Konami's growing concerns over budget meant that it was released as a demo-cum prequel. But the isolationist nature of the infiltration, and the focus on cinematic introduction of characters, and the high ratio of cutscenes to gameplay, along with the gut-wrenching story twists within them, did actually make it about as close to a spiritual successor to MGS as you could get. Having then adopted an open world approach and having absorbed the excellent base management system from Peace Walker, the addictive combat and complex living world of Phantom Pain was the...
Why are we watched thing about Metal Gear 5 now?
Of Game Awards for sure, but the memorable set pieces and absorbing cinematic progression of the past was now heavily diluted by swaths of generic scenery and offbeat story occurrences that were no longer utilized to carry the game, but rather to punctuate the stellar gameplay, which had become the main focus of the experience. Scenes like Quiet's torture that would pop up almost at random when returning to Mother Base after a seemingly unrelated mission in which you may or may not have had her at your side simply made no sense and required you to accept the more modular approach.
Okay, I don't know what this critique of Metal Gear 5 is at the end of this.
The story elements, which of course was a stark contrast.
What does this have to do with the dialogue or the voice actors or anything?
To the fixed narrative
or the translation or anything.
Regardless of the why, when Kojima did assemble his stories out of elements from proven action rompers at the time, and even if it wasn't intentional, allowed third parties to edit, localize, and infuse his writing with a
infuse his writing. Very interesting way to say fan fiction, right? I don't like the way this guy is acting like the guy wrote a better version and improved it by adding stuff, and Kojima's a jerk for having a problem with that. Dishonest a little bit.
Sharp layer of believability. The result was described at the time as...
And then every time the way he words it is very like that, like infuses it. Right. Right. So we're not even talking about translation the way translators would talk about it. We're talking about it in some ridiculous manner. Okay, cool.
Being the finest PlayStation game ever made. And that is a...
No, so obviously Kojima was wrong. Even though... because some guy at IGN said it was the finest one ever produced. So Kojima was wrong to have an issue with the added stuff. Because IGN said it's the finest game ever made.
Timeless accolade, because it didn't rely on aging gameplay to get that score.
What?
It was the complete package. MGS will always be a 90s thriller, and for those wanting to experience a taste of the time, it is a timeless example. However flawless the Phantom Pain was at the time of release, it'll be subject to a far higher degree of aging due to the reliance on refined gameplay and technical
why are we still talking about number 5?
Prowess at the time, and will have less to show for the era in which it was released as time moves on. Ground Zeroes will probably be better suited for retro gaming if future gamers want a taste of the time, and Kiefer Sutherland's performance will ultimately prove to be pretty forgettable, as his presence in the overall series...
Oh, we're saying why Kiefer Sutherland is going to be forgotten, and actually the one he likes is the best one. Okay. And so actually Kojima's an idiot because he had this other guy replace him. So actually Kojima is actually an idiot and does everything wrong because Metal Gear Solid 5 wasn't very good anyway and nobody cares. Okay.
Nothing in order to lift it to new heights.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Both Blaustein and Hayter played essential parts in carrying out Kojima's vision and lifting him to the top.
Oh my god. This places a overly important view of like America and like English games on over Japanese games. There is a big interplay, but this is basically from the viewpoint that American games are better, pretty much.
Sutherland, who is an excellent actor, no doubt, almost equates to a cameo in comparison, whereas you won't find so much as a photograph of Kojima with the first two. He can be seen pressing up against Sutherland anytime you look. Remember that his role as overseer meant that he was indirectly the boss for all of them. And if you've ever had a boss who treated you unfairly after you worked hard to...
As his role as overseer. So again, there was nothing in this whole video that I watched now that says that he actually oversaw every detail of the project. Just this guy, when he made the video, said it a couple times.
Earn their faith. Just remember how much it stings. No matter how much you loved his...
And again, the actual thing proves he doesn't oversee the whole thing all the time, and maybe he does it more now, but the actual incident that happened proves that he didn't, right? It proves that he didn't oversee the translation down to the T like that, because the fact that when he tried to... what actually happens is, he takes both versions and says, I want to make a version that we can have both of these back together. We can have the English subtitles on while the Japanese audio plays so people can see these cool terms. They try it out and he realizes, wait a second, when I'm actually looking at these side by side, this is pretty drastically different. I actually don't like this. And then that's what actually happened, right? That's what actually happened in real life.
Work, his lack of candor in the way that he treated members of his team.
That's a matter of style, right? That's a matter of preference. But it's painted as if he was nitpicking and overly literal translation focused or whatever. But none of that is established.
When you compare that to how he very publicly acts with equivalent members of his team who just so happen to be Hollywood stars, it is just disappointing revelation when the content of his game suggests a man who places serious value in morality and karma. Snake smokes because he's a 90s badass, but when he does it, his freaking health goes down.
Cigarettes are poison, they kill people.
Classic Kojima. Love it. The positive changes he's brought to the industry and to people's lives.
Now this part is where he sucks up to Kojima to be like, it's not that I dislike Kojima. That's not, clearly I don't dislike Kojima, so that's why my critique still can stand, and not as a hater thing, because I like him. I see here's how he's a genius. So even though I think his dialogue, he shouldn't have control over his game's own dialogue, I clearly don't believe he should. I think that I should have, me and IGN and other people like that should have more control over his dialogue because we think it's perfect when it's translated this other way and he doesn't. Like, ridiculous.
Mine included are undeniable. Metal Gear Solid 1 is in my top 5 favorite gaming experiences of my life, and I will probably...
And that's because of the added text, right, is what you're going to say. It's because of the added changed English version, not because the original Japanese was crap. You wouldn't have liked that, but the changed one you liked.
Go to the grave praising his countless endeavors, but always, always within context. A like or better yet a subscribe would mean the world to me, so a little clip from you.
I was told things that weren't in here.
Thank you
I was told things that weren't in here, which is why I wanted the actual original thing.
If you enjoyed the video,
because when we play telephone, man, the truth changes, reality changes, and you get something totally different.
Next time.
Burned his voice actors. I would say the title doesn't even really establish what happened. See, okay. So if you hire somebody, okay, so if you don't hire the specific person you want to start, you're an asshole if you replace them. If you look at your text, compare and translate another language, and you find they take way too many liberties because you can't even line them up together anymore. You find that there's too many liberties taken. Then what, you're a control freak overseeing the whole production? Okay. Alright. Alright. Seems totally fair to me to be able to do what he did. If I wrote something in English and then I looked at and I tried to put them side by side and I found that the Japanese one was like adding all this kind of shit that I didn't like, I'd be upset with that too. I don't see what he did wrong. Let's see it. Let's see it. Machinko autobiography is about his adventures after he formed SEAL Team 6. Some of it is true, with extreme levels of BS. Very fun, funny. He's dead now, but was Trump like BS? But I liked it. Kind of comedy, good shit. Sure, I'll check that out. Is a straight shooter and changed the culture to tier 1 level. Nothing BS about him. Yeah, you're right. In other words, the guy added way more than just cool terms. Yes. In other words, he definitely took too many definitely took a fair amount of liberty. Too many liberties is hard for us to say, right? Because we didn't see the thing. But yeah, basically the translator took a lot of liberties, and when Kojima actually looked at them side by side, he didn't like how many liberties he took. That's what actually happened. There wasn't complete oversight where he was looking in too much and all this kind of thing. None of that happened as far as I can tell. It's just he tried to make a version that had both languages, and it actually shows he didn't oversee the whole translation, because he didn't see that until he did it, right? Until they tried to develop that. The evidence presented actually presents the opposite case, that he wasn't overly nitpicky about the translation, which is why the problem happened. I was never able to save Meryl. It seems like Kojima liked the turns. He did like the turns, yeah. Hey, I was in the Navy as a nuclear reactor specialist. Were you really? Could never be a SEAL for poor swimming skills, and I'm deaf in my left ear. Well, that's cool, though. But what I want to know is, how well do Japanese and English line up? You mean in general? Well, it's tough, right? It's tough to line them up. Shows pull it off, though, right? With subtitles. Shows pull it off with subtitles. All right, let's see. Let's check out some of these games we have suggested now. So on this list here, I have Final Fantasy V, I have Manji Maru, I have Legend of Heroes, I have Mother, and I have Busen 0. That's the current lineup for. If you have any more to add, let me know. Yeah, well, clearly he wanted the time to line up at least. Yeah, yeah. And without knowing anything else that was given to me is conjecture. And this guy in the video also makes conjecture that's pretty outrageous, but whatever. But like I thought that what I heard was not probably going to be the case, and it turns out I was right on that. Definitely not what happened. But nonetheless, interesting, I suppose. I vote Legend of Heroes. I'm the only one who saw that. How can we vote on Simp? Just say your vote, and I'll count for each key will be a vote. Just say it on Simps. Just say what you vote on Simps. And the voting is open all week until the end of the week. So you have all week to finalize your vote. Like, I'll write it down if you tell me it, and then, you know, if you change it, I'll write down the new one. Okay, so let's see. The keys are going up. Are they going up? Somebody who has, I have 5. I can do like 5 votes myself too. This is the one time I have voting power. I mean, like, I'm gonna vote with the rest of you guys. I have 6 votes, I think. Yeah, I have 6 keys. I have 6 votes. Midnight had to sell some to get. Midnight had to sell some to buy the other one, right? Bugrub has the most. He has the most voting power. He has like 20 of them. 10, 15, he's on 18. He's 18 votes. Isn't that crazy? We'll have to team up. We'll have to team up against him. How many votes do we all have, the rest of us? Can we win? Yeah. He is he's 18. We have, everybody else has in total 22. 22. That's before anybody buys any more, though. I bought one more just to have another vote. Also because I think it's going to be worth more than it is now. Even Koji was after Legend of Heroes, I think. Yeah, I don't think I saw that. I came in during Tengai Makio 4. Shit, can we get a multiple on the vote if we buy more keys? I don't know if that's good. Well, yeah, because the idea is like to make it like a shareholder thing, right? To make it like a shareholder thing. Like whoever invests more has more say is the idea. Well, we have to test it out to see if we like it or not. I get the question, but like if it's good, I wonder myself. Oh, also is my stream on right now? Hold on, I went to the page and I don't see it. What? It's off? When did it go off? Crap. I didn't even know Sims was off. Oops. I didn't even realize Sims was offline. Sorry. It just goes offline sometimes. That I gotta figure out. I had it up in the other tab. Hold on. Let me see. I had it up in the other tab. There it goes. Should be working now. What are we talking about? You don't know if it's good. Yeah, I don't know, but I want to try it because it'll encourage holding multiple keys, right? For more power over the stream. A stronger investment means more say. And will that be fair? Will that work out? Will that be lame? We'll find out, right? We'll find out. But I think it's a good idea, I think. But it could be lame. Early on, the issue with it right now that's obvious is Bugrub holds 18 keys because he bought in early. But I did tell everyone to get in. Bugrub was just the first person to really want to do it. I told everyone when I went live. You know, like, I don't know how I could have fixed that except trying to open the doors after people understood it better so that those keys could be more spread out. But I did do it live, so I don't know what else I could have done. Maybe talked about it for a couple of days first, try to get people over it, but people weren't going to go over before it worked. Really, it's just a reward for being an early adopter for Bugrub, I think, which he kind of deserves for doing it. So I don't know. I mean, it seems fair. On one hand, it doesn't seem fair because it's like, okay, he has the most. But on the other hand, he did actually leap in the thing and make it successful right away, pretty much. He did early adopt it, and nobody else did. Everybody else was, you know, didn't want to do it right away. So does he not deserve something for that? Is the question too. I don't know. Anyway, eventually we'll have more rooms and keys will be more spread out and stuff like that, I think. Yeah. Let's see some game videos. Okay. Poor swimming wasn't your issue. You just couldn't get past the PST. You didn't use the BUDS warning order or the PT guide. My argument for Wizardry prequel to a beloved game, no English patch, being able to make characters based on chat. Yeah, it's a very good option. Let's watch videos. I'm with you. See some game videos. Okay. let's go through the list. So, Final Fantasy V first. What version exists of Final Fantasy V? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why the stream died on Sims. Normally I thought it was like, I gotta talk to Max. We're supposed to talk today after my stream. We're supposed to talk. So, here's a Final Fantasy. Nah, I don't want a retrospective. All ports here. Which version should
Final
we play?
Fantasy V was another ambitious take on the signature job system of the series. We're gonna see the jobs be the core theme of gameplay changes.
If we were gonna play, which version should we play?
The other significant key point will be bugs and oddities.
I think there isn't there like a T edition or something too. Hold on. Final Fantasy V. Where's that 6? There's some kind of like. It's 6 that is T edition. Yeah. Isn't there some kind of mod though for 5 too? 5 Japanese ROM hack. There's some, maybe not. I know there's that one for 6 though. Don't really see nothing. I'll have to look later.
Most bugs in Final Fantasy V are harmless, inoffensive oversights, and we'll simply list them off, though some you'll want to be wary of that might inhibit or benefit your playthrough. We'll notice as the ports go on, though, that the line between bugs, oversights, and quality of life changes begin to blur. While we're talking about the original game, some of the noteworthy ones to mention right away are bugs like item duping, item transforming, encounter rate manipulation, several inaccurate or simply missing necessary item descriptions, losing your vehicle if you place it in a bad spot like some entrances, and some abilities or weapons not functioning properly like observe.
You can lose the air share? You lose the air share?
Power drink, Minucci, and mute. We'll get into more details about these bugs and oversights though as we continue to see them fixed. While Final Fantasy V released on its own in Japan, here in the West we got the Final Fantasy Anthology. The North American Final Fantasy Anthology includes Final Fantasy V and 6, while the European Anthology includes 4 and 5.
The PlayStation
and just
version.
like every Final Fantasy port on PlayStation and on GBA, Tosei had a hand in its development. No real new content in this version outside of the new CG opening. This is the first official
Is that all is different?
English translation. Ferris was given a heavy pirate accent in this translation, which isn't seen in any other English version after this one. A default sprint was added, and it stacks with the Thief's Dash ability.
Hold on one sec. I'm gonna put the window for the other Sims window. Mute this guy again.
A default sprint was added,
Oh,
and
crap.
it stacks with the Thief's Dash ability.
Hold on one sec. I'm gonna put the window for the other. I'm gonna move it there. Okay. I'll put the Sims window where I can see the video in my peripheral, and if it goes missing, then I'll know it's gone. Right? I'm thinking. Pause it too. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. I have it muted, and it looks like it's playing. Okay.
This version has notable load times, specifically
notice
whenever
it if
you
it's
enter
missing.
or leave battles, and when pulling up menus. The Super Famicom version's bugs and quirks remain intact, so if you were to opt for the PlayStation version, you aren't bypassing
So there's no real reason to do the PlayStation one then?
any of the original version's
Except the
bugs.
movies?
Visuals are largely identical too, though there's some UI differences and accommodation for other characters than Japanese, as well as the ability to cycle party menus with L and R. Notably, the largest visual difference is the battle transition. Now, as far as the music goes, it does have a bit of a different sound to it.
Well, they're totally different in how they were composed.
And sound effects in this version are also oddly lower quality than the original.
Huh, that's weird. A bizarre thing.
Lastly, a heads up for anyone with a Black Label copy of Anthology concerning backwards compatibility. On PS2, the game has graphical glitches in the save menu, and on PS3, the game crashes when you go to...
I don't know why you would ever play stuff like that. Like, try to run it on the PlayStation, PS2, and the PS3. Who cares? What are you doing? Just emulate it at
The
that
PAL
point.
version and Greatest Hits Green Label do not have these issues. And the next release is Final Fantasy V Advance.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
it came out for Game Boy Advance. That's
Game Boy
right.
Advance. While there's no 3D cinematics, there is a bestiary and unlockable music player and
Hmm.
quick saves. There are also 4
quick
new
saves.
jobs, including
quick
Necromancer,
saves, guys.
Cannoneer, Gladiator, and Oracle. Additionally, there's a new bonus dungeon and an optional boss. A new translation is used, which serves as the base translation used in the other versions going forward.
Interesting. I do remember hearing that the Game Boy Advance one was better for this game.
Mono artwork portraits also now accompany dialogue.
Oh, that's
Getting
cool.
into the gameplay changes, the multiplayer options were removed from the config settings. Also, some missable encounters were made non-missable, though not all of them.
Oh,
still
you know
be
what? This isn't gonna have
Many
the
of the original version's bugs and oversights
does
were
have the
fixed
pixel
in this
remaster,
version,
sure.
including item transforming, casting single target spells on multiple targets, the observability not showing weaknesses, situations where you lose your ride permanently if you place it on a bad tile like certain cave entrances, hiding party members being inflicted with zombie and therefore stuck hiding forever, being able to access locations during the third act you weren't supposed to be able to access yet, caught moss fungus and gel enemies not doing anything when
These are all the same bugs you already mentioned, though, right?
released in battle, inaccurate and even some missing weapon descriptions, and even
They're all the same. We're just driving the same things again, right?
bypassing the final boss's
The
final
PS1
phase
games
by
on the PS2
inflicting
for
them with
years.
Berserk through mix. All of those have been fixed.
Yeah, but you're
that
a
being
fool.
said, while most bugs and oversights were fixed, not all of them were, such as Chemist's power drain.
You're using a less reliable emulator.
Still not boosting attack outside of Goblin Punch, the time spell Mute still doesn't work on enemies as intended, and Samurai's Minucci not inflicting paralysis. Some new bugs appear in this version as
It didn't have a PS1 chip in the I/O port or whatever, though.
well.
But
Blue Mage's vampire
there's all
spell is
kinds of
bugged.
issues
The
with
spell
it.
is supposed to damage enemies or heal party members equal to 50% of their missing HP. Instead, here it will damage enemies or heal you or your allies 100% of their missing HP. Beastmaster's Calm ability is intended to inflict stop on magic creatures, but instead works on literally anything that isn't a magic creature, including humans and robots. More bugs include Mimes expend MP to cast Meteor even if they can't actually cast it, the Return spell, which is intended
But anyways, obviously, Jay, I'm talking about now.
to reset a battle, doesn't reset timers with them if there is one, and item duping was still possible, but these 3 issues in particular were fixed in the PAL version of Final Fantasy V Advance. Visuals are overhauled in accordance with adapting for the new hardware. The GBA has a smaller screen and no backlight, so the graphics were altered to accommodate the display. This is also
That'd be
another
way
take on the
brighter.
soundtrack, a reminder that there is a sound restoration ROM hack for this version if you prefer the sound of the Super
It'd be
Famicom
brighter.
versions.
It does sound crappier, yeah. But we're not playing this one anyways. There's no reason to play it, as far as I can tell. Just skip ahead.
Mobile phones, obviously, and
Mobile.
Steam.
Ugh, ew. What is this?
Our next
Ugh.
version is Final Fantasy V.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Who made this?
For mobile phones, obviously,
Oh
and
my
Steam.
god, no.
This version is based on the GBA version, script and content
No,
included.
no,
Being
no,
a more
no,
modern
no,
phone
no,
game, though,
no.
we do have autosaves, achievements, and cloud saves. Keep in mind, however, that this version was delisted from storefronts on
Yeah, good. Good. This should be in the
both
trash.
mobile and Steam. There's no controller support native to the mobile
This is the
version, so
fucking
UI has
worst.
been heavily reworked with
Yeah, it looks like somebody made it like on the first day of like UI design and some kind of basic thing.
touch
Like
controls in
what is
mind.
this?
The PC version does move auto battle and escape back to buttons at least.
This is
since,
so
of course,
horrible.
The Steam version does have
Look at these. No. No, 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 no. No.
Have controller support, and allows for remapping buttons. Other UI changes include
No.
the resistance stat being on display now, and all
So
spells and
ugly.
items now have descriptions. Additionally, there's 8-way movement, and like we mentioned, there is
It's
an
so
auto battle
very
toggle.
ugly.
This version of Final Fantasy V has the most gameplay changes out of all of them, so let's start the long list of changes with the job changes. Berserkers used to suffer an ATB penalty at the start of fights, as per their Berserk. Not only do they not suffer this penalty anymore, but they act independently.
No, look at these, man. Oh my god.
Of the party and target enemies on their own.
I can't
This
handle how
usually means
ugly
that
this
they'll
is.
target the front row. Blue Mage's vampire spell is fixed now, and it also doesn't work on enemies afflicted with heavy. Monk's kick attack before would not deal full damage from the back row, but now it does. However, the Kaiser Knuckles notably don't boost its damage anymore. Ninjas have the advantage
Oh
of
my
equipping two
God, no.
weapons. The Dancing Dagger has a
Let's
chance
just-
of attacking twice if you get the Sword Dance ability.
Let's just
Now,
skip through
afflicted
this
with
one,
a
right?
piece
We're not
penalty,
playing
you
this
miss
one.
HP, your buddy, jump
I cannot
like
play this one. Wasn't there a 3DS one for 5 or no? I know that was for 4.
Every row pause have body battles, dialogue, mono portraits,
I'll
new
go back.
dungeon backgrounds, new Overchange backgrounds.
Can you
for
imagine-
battles, new town background.
When you're like PC Master Race and this is what you mean? Watch. PC Master Race.
New dungeon back.
PC what now? PC what now? Master Race. PC Master Race.
New over
PC Master Race.
world background.
That.
New dialogue, mono portraits, new visual effects for spells, and even redone sprite animations. This version, however,
Come on. Come on. Everything is said right here. Look. Do we do wizardry? What do you think about calling it wizardry and then? Yeah, maybe we should, right?
adopts a mobile game aesthetic that deviates from its source material and as such is a conflicting element to many people.
So ugly. It's
Final
so
Fantasy
very
V
ugly.
Pixel Remaster uniquely
Yeah, what about this one?
builds so much off of the mobile port we just discussed that it'd be easier to tell you what's different from the mobile version rather than restate half of the video by telling you what's different from the
but I
Super
skipped the
Famicom
mobile
version.
one.
That being said though, the GBA version's bonus dungeon and jobs are not here, but the majority of gameplay tweaks we have seen have carried over, the GBA version's translation is used with some tweaking, and the intro from the Super Famicom and PS1 version was recreated here. Moreover, we've got the expected bestiary, artwork gallery, and music player.
It seems like it might be the best version, but mostly because all the other versions suck, kinda.
The usual features of the
Right?
Pixel remasters are found here. There's quick saving, auto saving,
Like, yeah, the Pixel Remaster looks like it might be the best one, but that's just because the other versions really suck.
8-way movement,
Like, they didn't really make any improvements in any of them.
and detailed maps with item tracking. Just like the other times I've shown the Pixel remasters, nothing has changed in terms of the font or potential frame rate issues. Equipment and spell stats were pulled from the GBA version
Tales of the Forsaken Lands 2, yeah, might as well, right?
and balanced
Put it 2 on it.
accordingly with other gameplay changes. So now let's discuss those gameplay changes that were made from the mobile port to the
And then put in parentheses the Japanese name or
Pixel
something like this.
Remaster. Keep in
Or in
mind,
the
I
ti- or in the
tested these things
description.
personally, so there's potentially other changes I didn't test or account for.
Or
but
Japanese
this is what
people
I've
to
been able
find
to
it.
perceive, and I'm confident that anything that's potentially missing might not be too noteworthy. Berserkers
Because I think I would have a decent potential for a Japanese speaking audience too, for any of the games too, you know.
attacks go back to being
In fact, I
random
might be
who they
more
select,
likely that they'd be
so that you're
searching for it
usually not
than
targeting the front row
English-speaking
anymore.
people.
Thief's Dash behaves like it did in the PlayStation version. You sprint in towns and dungeons again, and the dash stacks with the default
That's like me in Daggerfall now, right?
sprinting.
It's like
Geomancer's
or Carl in Daggerfall now.
Gaia ability operates as it originally did. Your level is a factor in determining which
Yeah, I
attacks
guess if we
could be
play, we're gonna
possibly
play this one,
randomly
right? The
selected.
remaster.
Also, not
Pixel
only do the
remaster.
twin lance weapon and sword dance
I see no
ability
reason to play in the other ones over this one, so whatever.
don't really need remasters,
All right. Well, we know what one we play. We'll play the remaster. We play that one. 5 seems okay. I don't think it's gonna win because it doesn't really stand out, as anything all that, anything all, anything all that special. I don't know if it's got a real shot. I don't know if it's got a real shot. All right, let's try. I think I'm gonna take Manjimaru off the list. I think that'll be in the next running, not this one. Okay. Now, what about Legend of Heroes 1? What would that be on? Legend of Heroes 1. Which we played on stream before and I thought was pretty cool. Here, the Basement Brothers talk about it, I guess.
A bit of an odd fellow who. So here it is.
Skip to the game.
Sorcerian on 5 floppy.
It has cool art.
The program disc, the event disc.
It's very cool
and
art.
3 scenario discs.
Skip to the intro.
We get an opening sequence that is mildly impressive for the PC-88.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Just like in newer Falcom games.
What game did we have? What version did we actually play though? I don't think it was the PC-88 one. I think did they make a port with the PC-98?
The opening sequence shows the main characters of the game without yet giving any explanation of who they are or how any of the imagery shown here fits into the game.
Well, yeah, but that's every game anime intro ever.
In the BGM, we also first hear the main theme, which will be repeated in the opening and ending.
Great channel, Jake is awesome. I don't know. I never really watch them because I have no, like, I'd rather, like, there's no purpose for me to watch any of these. But, you know.
When the opening is over, the game says to insert the program disc in scenario disc 1. But before doing that, I want to do the next thing the manual suggests, making backups of the scenario disc. Because of
anyways, this would be a cool game to play.
Serios is just 2 months away from assuming the
throne. Maybe find a Japanese version or something. You see and find something. What are all the different versions for the first one? Let's see. What were the different versions? What version did I play? First Dragon Slayer. It was on PC-98. Okay. A version for PC 6001 was in development but was never released. A remake of Dragon Slayer is included in the Falcom Classics. Oh, on Sega Saturn. That's right. It's in the Sega Saturn one. Yeah, we can boot that up is what we'll do. Okay, hold on. I think I have that. I believe so. I think so. I have that. Let me see. Falcom, do I have Falcom Classics? Let me check one sec. I don't have them in Launchbox already, but I'm gonna have it. Dragon Slayer Legend of Heroes event disc. No. Falcom Classics Japan disc 1 game disc. Is that it? Falcom disc 1 game disc. What would the other disc be? Anything else? I have Legend of Heroes. What is this for? SPS. One. PC-98, I think. Yeah, okay. You must have played the PC-98 one. But apparently there's a remake on Saturn. Let me see that real quick. Okay, this piece. I don't know where I keep my Saturn games. But so I'm just gonna put this somewhere real quick, and then we will try it. Okay. I got no idea where I keep my Saturn stuff. No idea. Okay, put it in here. Do I have to mount Saturn stuff? I don't know. Falcom Classics. Okay. Alright, 1 second, guys. Get my controller. Let's see what it looks like because I got no idea. Okay. Saturn, Beetle Saturn? Nope, hopefully that works okay. Okay, you hear anything? Think not the in the game. There you go. Maybe. Yeah. There you go. It's controller mode. Everything should work now. Okay. East, Dragon Slayer, Xanadu. And I'm curious if it's any different than the version we played. Oh, I have a game suggestion. White Witch on Saturn. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good idea. What? Huh? Oh, this isn't the right game, right? This is the other game or something, no? Isn't this a different game? Dragon Slayer 1's a different game? Maybe? I'm confused. Legend of Heroes is Dragon Slayer 3, isn't it? Oh, I was all tabbing. It is, I think. Then what the hell is this game? The hell is Dragon Slayer 1, bro? Power Stone. Oh, this is a whole different game. This isn't the right game. I don't know what this is. This is the first one. I never played this. Ever. Can you collect these? What is this now? Okay, well fuck this dumb game. This game is dumb. Okay, wrong game, guys. This is Dragon Slayer 1. Which I guess is a different game. It is. Legend of Heroes 1 is like Dragon Slayer 3, I think. Okay, well, my bad. Hold on. Dragon Slayer 1, 2 is Xanadu, 3 is Romancia, 4 is Legacy of Wizard, 5 is Sorcerer. It's 6! It's Legend of Heroes 6. Okay. There is a Saturn version, apparently. Or something. Okay, anyways. Get out of here. My bad. My bad. My bad. That's not a real game. Okay, so the Dragon Slayer 1 is on Towns, 98, TurboGrafx CD. I think we played that. I might play that one. Sharp. Oh, we played the Sharp version. Mega Drive, PC. There's a 1 and 2 bundle for PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all true. I remember that now. Okay. What version did we play then? The Sharp one? It was the Sharp one, I think. Yeah. Not the PC-88 one. I don't think I would ever play the PC-88 one. Because I think it just looks worse, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay. Sharp. We have the PC Engine. There's a PC Engine playthrough. Your Famicom playthrough. I think, yeah, I think we played it on the Sharp. That sounds right, right? PC Engine playthrough. PC, MSX. All the endings collected, huh? Maybe type X 6800. Did that pop up there? With the opening. Yeah, here's a video. I think we played this one. Oh wait, that's not gonna be right because they put back on browser. Dragon Slayer, I think this is the one we played, the version we played. The way he's recording is kind of ghetto though. The movie definitely looked a bit better than the PC-88 one. See? It's higher resolution. No comments, nothing. Yeah, this is the only play, I think. The way he's capturing this is ghetto, but it's a 9-year-old video, so the PC Engine here. I want to see what that version looks like. Oh, this is 2, not 1. Oops. This is 2. It's 2, not 1. Opening. Let's look at the opening. Yeah, see, this is captured well. Now we're talking. Look at that. Much better looking. Much better looking. There you go. And the sound is probably better too. Look at that. That looks way better. This is what the Sharp looks like. The Sharp version looks like. Way better than the PC-88 one. I don't know why you would play the PC-88 one, because all these other versions came out at the same time. It would only be if you had a PC-88. Like, the only reason it came out for PC-88 was for people that still had a PC-88, right? There's no reason to play it if you had anything better on there, I think. Makes no sense, really. Pretty sick. Does the 88 have better music than the Sharp? Why would it? I don't know. I don't see a reason to think that'd be true. As good as Towns? Well, I don't know. I don't think that anything. I don't know why any of them would have exceptionally good music, really, right? Because it doesn't use MIDI out or anything. Just the whatever Yamaha chips or whatever the things had at the time. I don't think they're different compositions in the different games, the different versions. I could be wrong though. I don't think so though. Here you got PC Engine. Oh, there's number 2 again. Crap. I mean, where's 1 though? Here's. What is this? Mega Drive? Mega Drive one? What does it sound like? What does it look like? A circle, a loading screen. The Sharp had MIDI though. The PC-88 can do MIDI too. But the MIDI, the game has to be made to work with, like, has to actually output MIDI though. The Sharp can do MIDI, PC-88 can do MIDI too. Same PC-98 also. Oh, here, these are the ending scenes. The Sharp version is probably the same as the PC-98 version, I would assume, for all intensive purposes. Here they got a port of the PC-88 one for the Switch. That egg does that. Here we go, TurboGrafx. Oh wait, go back. What was the next one? PC-88. Yeah. Maybe that. I wonder what the PC Engine one looks like. It might be a good way to play it. Because it's got a CD, right? The audio could definitely be better on this one. I would assume this would have the best audio because it has a CD.
Somewhere in the course of time, there lies Isranasa, a world blessed by peace and tranquility. Surrounded by seas of
Made by
sparkling
Alpha.
cobalt, the lands of Isranasa were once divided among 5 kingdoms.
Yeah, this one seems like the one to
Farlane,
want to
Wingard,
play, I think,
Nolan,
maybe. The
Sordis,
PC Engine one.
Mortavia.
Because it's gonna have the highest quality music significantly, I would think. Unless some of the another versions on, well, I guess there's the Saturn and PlayStation ones. Those might be similar, because they got CD audio too. This game rules though. This game was pretty cool. I really liked it. The story was pretty good. The combat system is fine. It's nothing as special, but I do like, the storytelling is really good though. It's a really good game. I don't totally like this version though, the way it's looking. What about PlayStation? PS. Can you see this one? PC Engine. I think it's Saturn. Try this one. See what this one looks like. Ooh, listen to that one. Nice, sounds very nice. I think maybe the Saturn and PlayStation would probably sound the same. I think this is the one to play. Huh? What do you guys think? Saturn one? Space is used a little bit better than the PC Engine one. Way more than 4 fat guys. The original 98 was business and didn't have the music stuff at first. The discussion about these systems peaked, yeah. 98 had amazing graphics. Yeah. Yeah, it did. It was very cool. Saturn, yeah. The animation is jank though. Well, yeah, because it's gonna be jank though. Like, they're porting an old... like that's... I don't think any of the versions have better animation. You know? All they have is 2 frames to work with. You know? And they didn't want to redraw the graphics, I don't think. But I see what you're saying. But I think that's all they had to work with. I'm feeling this one. I think this will be the one we play it. It sounds nice. Text display is good. Doesn't feel too crowded like the PC Engine one did. I like it. Skip around a little bit more. Get to like this part maybe. Where you meet the old man that looks like you're... wait, didn't we play this not that long ago? We played this for convincing me to play Trump, didn't we? Like before we played Megami Tensei, I played this, didn't I? I played a day of this. I did. What version did I play? I remember doing it now. Because I remember somebody got mad at me. Some new person got mad at me. Because they were talking about like genres of stupid old video games or something, and they got all upset, and we never saw the person again. But I remember it was during this game they got upset because I was like, I don't know, they wanted to classify something as like a whatever RPG or something, and I just found it ridiculous. The way people are about classifying games is really weird. Like they think like they're like the classifications are like fact, you know what I mean? Like, when games are still such a new thing that we're just like making stuff up as we go still. To act like they're like these genres are like ironclad is ridiculous. Anyways, I remember that. Did you? Yeah. The music sounds good, it does, right? Consoles were on TV, not monitors, that's true too. But it's not like the animations are that good on the monitors. They just were dealing with, I mean, like, in this era of animation was not good for these kind of games, you know? It just wasn't. When they made Legend of Heroes 1, it was fine to have 2 frames of animation, and that's all. Who even knows what frame per second was? 10? Like, it's, I get you guys, but I don't know what you expect. Unless they were going to redraw the whole thing. Their options are pretty limited. I think all things considered, looks fine. Not as bad as Persona Wii's. By the way, I'm kind of Persona Wii. Oh no. Yeah, Persona Weave Day was kind of the worst day. I gotta be honest with you, I really don't like most Persona fans, probably. But that's me in any fan group, I think. But I was thinking about, I remember, I realized that again recently when I saw on like Twitter, like Persona fans